What's written down in the Constitution is one thing, and the real practice is another. Todd Greenwood. All right, good evening, everyone. And it looks like we've got Aaron in already. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch it to this video. I'm gonna mute myself. It's 18 and a half minutes long. You're gonna go ahead and or I'm gonna go ahead and just let it play out. And you can watch it on your own. The link to the person who uploaded it on YouTube is in the description box on YouTube and on Steam it on vim.tv, and we'll discuss it afterwards. So I'm just gonna mute myself and have it play back, and we'll talk about it afterwards. All right, and enjoy.
March 2013, in the city of Electra, Texas. My wife pulled over to the side of the road so we could switch drivers. Before we could finish, Electra City police officers Matt Wood and Gary Ellis pulled in behind us.
I do you too quick. Alright. Sorry, what? You got ID with you? Sorry, am I? Oh, no. Yeah, we're good. Okay, your ID card.
Section 3802, Failure to Identify. A person commits an offense if he intentionally refuses to give his name, residence address, or date of birth to a peace officer who has lawfully arrested the person and requested the information. I was not under arrest, nor had I been driving, and therefore I was not obligated by law to cooperate with them or answer any further questions. I assumed they were just making sure we were not stranded, so I was willing to cooperate a little. I told them that we were just switching drivers and that we were okay. I gave Ellis my name, address, date of birth, and driver's license number. Officer Matt Wood goes to the other side of the van. And opens the door. No probable cause, no consent, or even bothering to ask for it. That is an unconstitutional search. He can order other passengers out, but he cannot search the vehicle without probable cause or consent. I had not noticed that Wood was searching my vehicle because I had been busy giving all my identifying information to Ellis. When I did notice, I verbally objected to his search.
I'm not searching your car. I think I'm okay.
To those who think I was being unnecessarily difficult and that the police officers were just doing their job and just making sure I was safe, where would you draw the line? Would you object to the police opening the door of your house and looking around just to make sure you are safe? Search the web for Texas body cavity search for a few incidents that took place in the months following this incident. Would you object to that search? What if your daughter was threatened with a body cavity search without probable cause on a traffic stop? Would verbally objecting to that search be just being difficult?
Okay, well, once again, we're telling you that's not an intrusion. And once again, I'm telling you... Okay, well, why don't you sit back over here for me, sir? Are you just going to just make it worse? I'm not making it anything worse. Why don't you step back over here? I'm asking you. We don't know if you're a serial killer.
I was stunned. I could not believe he just said that. These are jackboots.
Buddy, that is a term that you cannot ever say, yes, you do. Okay, first off, you don't tell me what to do, okay? You don't tell me what to say, you don't tell me what to do. And they walk out now. I'm out there for a second. You're getting attitude when you don't need to. You're getting attitude when you don't need to.
Excessive force. That hurt.
First off, we come up here for public safety and to make sure everything's okay, and you come in with an attitude. Totally uncalled for, okay? Totally uncalled for. Right or wrong? Right or wrong?
I'm sorry, who's attitude?
Yours.
All right, I disagree.
So you think you can just talk to anybody, especially law enforcement personnel, just any old way? Yes, sir. That's either yes or no. Okay. Okay.
I would expect you to say that.
Well, I tell you what, you're not going to come to me all cockeyed and bowled up. Is that understood? Is that understood?
A quick refresher on fail to identify. To be guilty, you have to have already been arrested for a separate crime. Not detained, arrested. The law is very specific on that distinction. It does not mention ID cards. We are not that far gone yet. I had given all information relevant to the law the first time I was asked for them, even though I was not required by law to do so. I knew this law.
I'm sorry, what? Wasn't identified. Whenever we asked you about information, you said no, everything's good, you want to walk off. Alright? You're a liar, you're making this up. Come on. You think you're jail on it? I will. Green coffee, your coffee. You're just making this shit up. Yes, you are. Alright? The penal code, immigration code, everything in there? Yeah. That's what you're cited. I did not fail to identify anything. I was not arrested. I was not under arrest. You were locked in. But do you think so or not? No, I absolutely agree with that.
I then noticed the second citation for fail to display driver's license. I had not operated a motor vehicle in the state of Texas that night. My wife had been driving since Taos, New Mexico. We had been in the process of switching drivers at the time they pulled up behind us. Both officers knew I had not been driving, and therefore knew I was not required by law to display a driver's license.
Alright. And the warning was... Does it matter that I wasn't driving? I'm just asking. You know that I'm driving, and I'll tell you everything. I'm not going to call the court.
Wood and Ellis issued me a citation for an offense they were both certain I had not committed.
Just one more warning. You know that you... One more warning. Or you get in the car and you're fucking late. Alright? Alright, give me the ticket. I told you before, and I'm going to argue out here. Deal with the courts. Alright? Now leave.
2 false citations simply because I verbally objected to their unconstitutional search of my car. To be sure I did not operate a motor vehicle in the state of Texas that night, my wife continued driving.
You need to leave.
Wood marked on the citation that no search had taken place. Most importantly, the citation stated that a video was taken. I requested the video and received it at the pretrial hearing. In what follows, after I get the DVD with the video, it looks as though I was being purposefully difficult by not letting the prosecutor watch it. I was not. I acted toward my best defense in a criminal trial. I had resolved, long before the pretrial, not to view the video with the prosecutor until after I had seen the contents and determined it to be in my best interest to do so. For example, in the video, I can be heard asking, "Am I under arrest?" and both officers responding no. Wood can be heard responding, "You were fixin' to," when I told him I had not been driving. I did not know that these statements were audible beforehand. If the audio had been unintelligible, I had no doubt Wood and Ellis would lie at the trial and claim otherwise. The prosecutor later told me that small-town police officers might have done much worse. I did not want to give the prosecutor any hints lest he coach Wood and Ellis on their testimony. I wanted the officers as unprepared as possible if this went to trial. A trial is not about sparring in a gentlemanly fashion. It is a slum brawl in which you use every tactic available. The state certainly will. In this case, everything hinged on how clear the audio was. It turned out to be good enough, but at this moment, I did not know that. I was willing to watch the video with the prosecutor later if it was of any reasonable quality, and in fact I did do so a bit later. But there was a real risk that it was not. In my criminal trial, the proper organization of my defense trumped any inconvenience it brought upon the prosecutor or anyone else. What follows are the events surrounding the May pretrial hearing. Todd Greenwood, the city attorney for Electra, prosecuted. Associate Judge Diane Gribble presided. Todd Greenwood gives me a DVD with a copy of the police dashcam video. This is my copy, right?
Yes. Here's your copy.
Perfect.
Let's go watch it collectively if we can. It's your copy after you leave with it. But until then, I'd like us to watch it together. That's the standard. That's what we normally do.
I mean, this is my copy now, right? Whether I share it with you or not.
No.
You have your own copy. Yes, it is.
I'm going to give you the copy.
You already have given me the copy.
You're interpreting the language I just used to say that
I
I've just given you the copy.
I asked you if this was
I'm
my...
not going to get into that. I would appreciate if we all watch it together.
Okay, I wasn't
And
going
then we can make a determination. I can make a determination.
It's rather long, and I wasn't going to watch the whole thing. I basically just want to make sure that it's from the start to the end.
Here's what I'm going to have to do, sir. I'm going to have to go get the police to bring me another copy so I can watch it.
Okay?
I don't want to do that. I don't normally give DVDs. I've agreed to do that because you replied through letters. So I'm willing to provide you with a copy of the DVD, provided that we can all watch it together now, and then you can take it with you. Those are your conditions.
All right.
If you don't like that, I'm going to have to call the police chief back over here. Okay?
Okay. For what?
So let's just go ahead and watch it together. And then you can have that copy. You'll be the first.
Okay, first of all, let's make this clear. I already have a copy, and I will share it with you. We can look at it together.
Let's make this clear. You don't make the conditions here, I do.
Okay? I have a copy. You already gave it to me. It's in my computer.
No, you
Yes,
don't.
it is.
Because I just said you don't. And you don't make the conditions here. Now, do you have a problem with that?
Will you call the judge in, please?
You're free to go talk to the judge if you want to.
Judge, would you come in here, please?
Why don't you go get her instead of making her come in here at your beck and call as though you have some directive power over anyone in this location? That's her chambers. You can go talk to her.
I'm good.
I'm beginning to understand why you have the charges you do. You seem to have some expectations about public entities and your power over them, some controlling sense. And why is your boy here to witness this? Isn't today school day?
That's my business, not yours.
You're right about that, but let me put it this way. Render the DVD back to
I
the
will
jury.
not. That is mine. You may call the police and get your own copy if you wish. All right, this is an ex parte.
We need to call the bailiff.
All right. I'm sorry, this conversation should not be happening without both of us present.
That's why the door's open. Would you call the chief?
Yes.
Would you rather do this in the office with the door closed?
No, I would
Chief
not.
here
I would not.
instead of
I'd rather be doing it out here. This is why I brought the boy, so he can see how this works.
Hey, is Chief there? Tell him I need him down here immediately, please. We have a gentleman in the office. I just need the chief here. Thank you. He'll be right here.
Okay.
Okay.
Am I under arrest now?
I don't know.
It does it? On what charge would that be? I'm ready to proceed with the hearing, if you wish. I'll be out here at your leisure.
Okay, have a seat, thank you.
You bet.
Electra Police Chief Johnny Morris arrived a few minutes later. Greenwood had a conversation with him within easy earshot of the judge and us. That was inappropriate. The video showed everything I needed to win any trial. After making sure I had a safe copy of the DVD, I allowed it to be viewed on the judge's computer. Greenwood wanted to chat about what was on the video and my version of the events, and I agreed. After listening to my side of the story, Greenwood gave me some advice.
Let me tell you how this would have worked in the 80s or the early 90s. There would have been no audio. You would have been in a small town that didn't have audio or video equipped, and there's still some, if you go towards Lubbock, that don't. You would have been here, we wouldn't have had an audio or video to look at, and the officer, if you had pressed it the way you are now, pressed your rights, the officer would have taken the stand and testified that you laid hands on him. Okay? And a few of them who are worse than Ellis, in your opinion, Ellis or Wood. Some of those guys out in West Texas, what they would have done is they would have put you on the ground in front of your family, handcuffed you, let you spend the night in jail, then they would have said it was because you put hands on them. Your family would have all been witnesses in your favor at trial, but the officer taking the stand in a small rural community would have gone, the jury would have gone with those officers more than likely. And even if they didn't, no one gives a damn because it's all, you're having to do all the work driving out there and doing all the heavy lifting. So either way they would have won. My bottom line, and this is nothing to you except a little preaching, is I get clients in your position, you don't win. The old expression is, you may beat the rat, but you don't beat the ride. The ride to jail. There's some bad people out there, and they wear badges, so they can get away with it, and they will bend you up. And at the end of the day, unless you've got real good evidence against them, you're not going to get their badge. You may get worse than that, so be careful, okay? I'm going to ask you a question I don't want you to answer. Do you have a criminal history? The reason I would ask you that question is because if you go to a trial without an audio or video and you're in your situation and somebody was wrongfully arrested, and you have a criminal history, you're going to lose because they're going to believe the officer and not the guy with the conviction. And you're not even from that town, and the officer is, and goes to Sunday school with the people on the jury. In small rural communities, that's how it works. You ever seen the movie Deliverance? It's not quite that bad, but that kind of gives you a picture.
He got a little pretty mouth, ain't he?
Alright, so be careful when you get outside of the suburbs, outside of the donut, because when you are, it's a different world. People, you know, when they're from the suburbs, they don't necessarily realize what's written down in the Constitution is one thing, and the real practice is another. And you're just not in the same kind of protections you have in Allen and Plano and Richardson and places like that.
So we do live in a jackboot society.
Sometimes, and we shouldn't. Sometimes it's better just to stand there and let it all roll over.
You better dash. Come on, squeal! Squeal!
These travel safety tips were brought to you by the Electra Texas Visitors Bureau. Inevitably, Greenwood moved to dismiss the causes without costs. The reason given? Lack of evidence. The court so ordered. I got the news in June when I received a copy of the motion with the order attached that dismissed both charges. I, of course, objected to it. I put in a motion to quash that order, which was improper due to it ruling on a motion made ex parte to the defendant. I also asked the court to deny the prosecutor's motion and submitted a third motion to compel the additional video and audio from the body cameras worn by Wood and Ellis. I would then put in a motion to dismiss with prejudice. Due process is hard to come by in Electra, Texas. Judge Gribble refused to consider any of my motions, not a big surprise, and the charges remain dismissed. I did my own defense. The law books I used were all from Nolo Press. Beat your ticket, represent yourself in court, and the criminal law handbook. I racked up $5.25 in late fees from the library. Perhaps I need to go back to the library and learn how to file a Section 1983.
All right. So, let's see. Okay. All right. And now I'm muting, and you might be catching up. Aaron might be catching up. He's in, I think his video paused. Anyways, what are your thoughts on that, everybody? Oh, there you are. You're unmuted. Good.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Did you watch that?
No, I didn't see.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, that's worth watching. It was published on February 10th, 2014. It has like 1.571 million views, and I did not know about it till maybe 2 days ago. But it's pretty interesting because you see the police. I mean, so Guy, I'll give you the skinny, especially for people who are joining now, I guess.
So what state, what city?
It's in Electra, Texas. So a guy and his wife, I think it's just them two, driving from Mexico. They're going through Texas, and she was driving the whole way, so they went to pull over so he could drive because she was getting tired. And when that happened, a patrol car pulled in behind them and, asked them questions, who you are and where you're from. And the partner officer went to the passenger's side and opened the door. And, that's unconstitutional search. And so the guy was objecting to that because he didn't notice it at first. Then he did notice. He was like, hey, you're not supposed to do that. And then the cops, Ellis and Wood, they weren't liking his tone, I guess, or him pressing his rights, his freedoms, whatever. And so they issued him 2 citations. One was the first one was because they were asking to show his identification.
Yeah.
One of the citations.
May have asked questions about that. Maybe have said, well, what's the crime? Or, he may have said a couple words, right? And then they force it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So one is like failed to identify, although he did identify. Second was like failure to provide identification. And so he took it to court, and he represented himself, and he took his son along to record the whole thing. And you could hear the prosecutor and the judge talking, and of course they could overhear it on the tape. And that it was funny because they were trying to give him another citation, but they didn't know what for yet. So they're just like, hold on that. And anyways, they got the tape, and so it was audible. And the thing is, the prosecutor, he pretty much says a lot of things and tells them basically what the real practice is going on.
Are we going to have a live prosecutor tonight? That's what your show kind of says, right?
I doubt it. I mean, yeah, okay. I don't get enough attention.
But hey, along those lines of the gentleman and family you're just talking about, they got pulled over by a cop car that probably on the side of the door said public safety and security. I'm just guessing those are the words. Now, imagine this, though, if the truth was told and they put, police force on the side of the door, right? Imagine how much Americans take notice of that and say, what? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Police force. Instead of, city of something, public safety and benefits, and, we love you, and handshakes. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They put it on the side of the door, but yet when they get out of that door, they act obviously.
Yeah, you were kind of cutting off there. Yeah, it's pretty good, and he says it's worse. I just think the end is just the best part, because he's if you go, a lot of this is getting out to a lot more people now, and the attorney at law that's in Electra, who's the city council at that hearing. It's
Man, I thought we are gonna get to debate an attorney at law on your show.
Oh no.
Man,
I'm just showing you a video where we can talk about it. Hey, maybe if I had like a couple of like thousands of subscribers or something,
I
and
thought
viewers.
he stepped it up. I thought he stepped it up and was like, "Yep, I'm gonna have an attorney on my show, and we're gonna talk about law."
You know what? I think that might be cool. Maybe I should reach out to this Todd Greenwood of Electra, Texas, if he's still alive, and ask him about that, because he has to know that this video is out there, and because if you look at Todd Greenwood, Electra, Texas, and I'm gonna show people the search. All right, so you've got 4 reviews on Google. What is it? Google. Oh no, it's on Yelp. So on Yelp, he has a his business, which also has a website, Criminal Defense Wichita Falls, Texas.com. And he's got one review that was on 8/11/2016, but now that was 5 stars, and then you have a bunch of 1-star reviews, and I'm pretty sure it's all about the video, right? But the thing is, I don't know why people look. I get why people hate him for it, because he's using the pressure tactic. Having them roll over and stuff like that, and he's still probably doing, and he's still probably prosecuting people who are falsely accused of doing things that they didn't do. But he reveals quite a lot when he's talking to the defense, and I mean, it's quite.
What do you mean? What do you mean to the defense? I haven't watched the video. Is there actually a court hearing involved in this?
Yes, please. I would say just go and watch the video. It's 18 minutes, and you can come back and give me your. So
I don't need to watch it because I kind of already know what's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
I kind of been through those situations myself.
Yeah.
And so the rhetoric that the attorney is applying, apparently, there was no restitution for the driver and whatever his name is, that guy, because he was the one bringing the claim, correct? Saying, "Hi, I was violated," or
well, no, actually. Basically, what he went down there for is to retrieve a copy of the body cam, or not the body cam, the patrol car's video, which also has audio, and because they wrote that down in the citation or something, or the hearing trial, that there is a video, so you requested it. So I think it was at the pretrial, so it wasn't at the trial yet, and I don't think the prosecutors, Todd Greenwood, saw the video. He was wanting to see the video and hear the audio at the same time as the defendant was going to watch it on playback. And then,
can you part real quick on your show or not?
You just have to go and watch it. I thought you would be watching while I muted you. That was the whole point of. So
I didn't know where to go actually.
On my YouTube channel. So basically, when I play back, just when I'm saying I'm going to play it back, focus on the channel. I'm live streaming it, watch the video, and then we talk about it later. Just that way we have something to go by. I mean, it's 18 and a half minutes long. I think it's good to watch the whole thing while before the show, just because there's just a lot of pertinent things to talk about there, and
some really, really important things to talk about there, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Not just pertinent. Not even watch the video, but I've watched videos of the sort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And,
there's a lot of videos out there.
Man, it's just like it's getting out of control. It's meaning what we would call a government, right? A government. Not your government, not my government, but just this entity that's out there, just always watching you, getting after you, and when they do, such as in the video that I haven't watched, I guarantee I already know what happens. It's just nasty, and I don't like it. You know?
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people like it, and the situation could have been worse. And actually, there's probably a lot of situations where it was worse. It's just there's no video, there's no audio, there's nowhere.
But what's worse than even one man and his maybe wife or family just being taken advantage of and possibly being what we would call raped by a guy with a badge? Now, it's not his fault. It's the badge's fault. You know, the badge gives him the authority to do whatever the fuck he wants, you know. But we, the people, issue those badges. We are the ones that give them those badges, you know. So whose fault is it? Is it his or ours?
Well, we don't give them their badges.
Yes, we do. All those badges, all positions of authority are granted by we, the people.
Yeah, but are you out there giving them the badges? It's the elected representatives that.
Yeah. Okay. I'll talk in theory. In theory,
okay.
We, the people, are the ones that grant authority, right? We grant certain positions for certain folks to hold certain positions to do certain things. But one of those certain things is never to come to my house with a gun telling me you have to pay a tax, right? Or hold me up on the street when I'm going to church saying, oh, you have to have a license. Those are not part of the positions that we, the people, you know, throughout history and all the Constitution and all the case law and all this stuff has changed over time. But we would never grant those rights for somebody else. Well, like, would you grant me a right to regulate you?
Nope. Yeah, I know. It's basically people write it down and see if they follow it. And if they follow it, they go, well, they don't have to do this. They're following it. And then what you do is you have people who are enforcers, let's say, like the police, and then just quote unquote authority is
what they are. For policy enforcers. Yeah.
Is that they would pretty much talk authoritatively. They would talk very forcefully, aggressively, you could say. And if you aren't one that just takes it in, just kind of just at first, most people will be a little bit more meek, and they'll be like, listen, just calm down. You've got no rights to do this or authority, etc. And then they get really angry, and it's like, you know, they could use force, they could use guns, whatever. But the thing is, they're in the wrong at that point. But
Iban. Let's go back.
Can you look? I know, Aaron. Could you please let me finish what I'm saying before you interrupt me? Thank you. No, I'm forgetting where I'm at. All right, just go ahead.
You were going about authority. Yes, I understand.
Oh yeah, okay. So they're yelling at you at a certain point in time to follow what they've written down. Except there's no traction behind it. It's just if you agree with what's written down, and you follow it, then they're gonna just calm down. They're gonna be like, okay, you're following it, but you actually don't have to follow what's written down. That's the thing, and a lot of people are just believing that, hey, since it's written down and someone
Who says
with
we
a
don't
certain
have to follow
badge
what's
or
written
something.
down,
Oh,
right?
okay. I was almost done.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry,
I
my
understand.
bad.
Just
I'm a cutter. I'm sorry.
I lost my track of thought, but
Okay,
I can't
okay.
hear you when you talk over me, and then when I'm done, you could talk, and I shut up. It just makes it easier for us to have a conversation. All right, go ahead.
No. You were going.
I'm done. I just couldn't hear you because I was winding down. Go ahead.
Written down.
Go ahead. It's fine.
Oh well. What if do you and me have to follow what is written down by somebody else? Do we have to follow that? Right?
No, we don't.
Okay. Now our neighbor does. Okay, so our neighbor
Well,
follows
our neighbors
that.
don't have to.
But they wholly hard to believe it, just like you
Yeah.
said. I'm working back, back up your conversation, the way you built it, which was great. And I cut you off, and I'm sorry. But so our neighbors believe that they have to follow what is written by some dude in some suit, some very far away place, bang, bang, bang. Okay, fine. Now, do we still have to follow that written piece of thing that maybe we read somewhere in? Where did we read it? First of all, by the way, where did we read it?
Read what exactly?
The law about, let's say, license.
So legislation, yeah. So it's written by most of the laws that are. Most of the laws that have already been written up before you were even born. You and I were even born. A lot of changes to law occurs during the time we're around, but typically we don't live. A lot of people don't live their entire lives in the same city and state. So, for example,
wait, Ebon, I don't mean to cut you off at all, but you're not answering my question. I said, where did we read that? Where did we, you and me? I know where it comes from, but where did you and me read?
It depends, because the laws for at least, let's say the legislation for federal, that's usually in school books. But for state and county and stuff like that, that's not going to be in school books.
Sorry, I'm not, okay, I'm cutting you off. I'm saying what's a federal? Let's go local, right? Local laws. I understand we can go federal, yes, and that just gets way too complicated. But let's go county laws, municipalities, states, locals. Just where did they write their laws that I ever read or you ever read in your life to tell you how to live within that so-called community that they built, right?
Yeah.
Where did we ever read that?
I don't know where you're going with that, but I guess it would just be the .gov website.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I guess we have the opportunity to read it there, but we never read it in high school. We never read it in middle school, or elementary, all the way up to senior high, in America, at least.
Well, we also.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Well, we also don't consent to it. So they write up the legislation, and then they get to the people who are elected. They can go ahead and ratify it or whatever. But then the people themselves, we don't say, yes, this is something we want and we consent to it. We don't even give our consent. So why do we need to follow what they write up if we don't have a say in it and we don't consent whether we agree with it or not? So pretty much you don't have to do anything that they write about because we're free and it's stated within the Constitution. And so I think it's just a realization to people that once they realize that, it's the stuff that in the paper that was written about by people you don't know, and sometimes people you never that made that stuff before you were even born. I mean, that stuff doesn't apply to you at all, you and me, or to anyone, and especially if we don't consent to it or agree with it.
You are fucking 100%. It doesn't apply, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you and me are free people. We can do whatever the hell we want as long as we don't harm someone else. I mean, it's not that hard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we do it every fucking day, with or without insurance, with or without title, with or without license, with or without pieces of paper in our pocket. We go about our life without harming other people. You know, we're kind of human like that. You know, we don't want to do unto our brother that you don't do unto yourself. So you don't smash into your brother with your car. You don't break into your brother's house, you know, without him breaking into you. And these are like the most simple things to think about. However, the government now has regulated these actions, saying that we think possibly you need to be licensed, you need to be regulated, you need to be administrated, you need to be controlled for safety of the public, for other people. And you and me are sitting here going, well, we've already done that. That's how we live our life every fucking day. If I didn't have a license in my pocket, do you think I'd just start ramming into people? Like, oh shit, I just start fucking, you know. No. You know, if you didn't have insurance, do you think you'd start ramming into people? If you didn't have, if you didn't pay property tax, do you think you're a criminal? Like, oh shit, you're a criminal. All of a sudden, on this land, you're a criminal. Yeah, I don't think so. You know, but the government does. So, how did we get to this point where all of a sudden, you and me, the lawful citizens, residents, taxpayers, are the criminal and being charged to live here? You know, how did we get to that point?
Well, because people just laid down. How did the How did the prosecutors say they just had it lay over or something like that? There's a specific term he used, but basically just pretty much roll over and let it go by. You know, let it happen, and just go on with your life after that incident.
Is that acceptable to you and me?
For you and me, probably not. But like, and the person in the video, I don't know exactly where he lived, but he went all the way back to the Electra, Texas, to fight those two citations. And look, I think those two citations, they would probably have been probably like $70 each, so about $140. And probably the amount of gas money that he spent, probably driving to Electra, Texas and back to wherever he lived, it cost more than just paying those two citations. But for ordinary people, they'd be like, I don't want to go drive all the way down to Electra, Texas. It's like 4 hours drive there, 4 hours drive back. Maybe it's more than that. And then you have to stay there. You have to probably find a motel to stay in. But so that's what happens is like people are just, okay, let's
What if he didn't need to have a license to begin with?
Yeah.
Right? What if? Now I'm going completely opposite.
Well,
I know you want.
Well, he didn't, because he wasn't even driving.
Okay, so what if he didn't need even have state ID? Anything.
Well, he didn't show his ID because he didn't need to.
But bear with me. Bear with me. What if there was no law that said you had to carry any ID from a state of any state in the United States at all? Right? What if there was a law that said that you didn't have to? Okay. Well, there is no law that says you don't have to. But there is the idea that says you don't have to, because there is no law that says you have to.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. Now
So from the outset of the video you're probably talking about, he's in the right, because there is no law. This is, you have to ID yourself. What is ID to begin with, right? I mean, geez, I'm sorry, Ebon, I'm going off the rails.
No, that's fine.
But there is no freaking state, county, local, federal law, county law, federal law that says you have to even have any ID. There's no law that says that. You don't have to. There is no law.
Yeah, well, I think they did add a law in Arizona, didn't they? That you had to supply ID.
Hold on.
That was like
immigrants have to have ID. That's true.
Yeah, but how do you know if you're? How do the police know you're an immigrant?
Is it their right to ask me whether I'm born and raised here or not, and stop me just arbitrarily?
No.
Right? Okay.
So that's the thing, is like you still don't have, even though there's a law, either that law has to apply to everyone or no one, because the police
stop everybody and ask them if they're an immigrant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry to cut you off, but
that's fine. I think another thing was he didn't break a law. He was issued citations. You know, it's citations. It's like, what exactly is a citation? It's like basically your word against mine, and it's a fee that you have to pay. And if you don't want, and here's the kicker with the citations and stuff. So if you have a citation from any state and you want to get your driver's license, let's say you're just going to get your driver's license. It's kind of useful for a lot of people. Like you can't have jobs these days without a driver's license or a birth certificate or anything like that.
Got to be ingrained in the state.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
You need SSN and all that jazz. But yeah, say you lived in Texas, you moved over to New York, and you have citations in Texas. Well, you know what? If you're going to go get your driver's license in New York, you're going to have to go and pay off your citations in Texas first. Otherwise, they won't let you even apply for your driver's license in New York. So,
reciprocity, meaning you pay us, for what you've done.
Yeah. So, yeah. But here's the thing.
Bullshit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you were saying something that I wanted to talk about. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead. You're on a roll.
No, go ahead. It's fine.
I can't remember exactly.
It's all right.
Thinking about. I was thinking about. If you travel from state to state, or like, there's no law that says you have to have any kind of ID to exist, except if you're an immigrant, right?
Yeah.
If immigrant here after about 1865, yes, they do issue papers. And okay.
But before, I'm going to answer yours, and then I answer Myra. She has a question. So that's the thing, is if you only get papers when you're an immigrant and you never filled out papers when you immigrated and you don't have papers, so how do people know if you're an immigrant or not if you never had those papers?
Exactly.
Right. So Myra goes, only ever had a speeding ticket before her experience where a male officer pretty much slammed her against a car while doing a search. But her question is, what does the "Don't Tread on Me" yellow rattlesnake flag symbolize these days? So in the old days, during the American Revolution, it was one of the flags that was used by not John Adams, Samuel Adams, and a bunch of others, and it was very much used. But
probably Ben Frank might have been You know, man.
Yeah, but nowadays the Tea Party ended up reusing that rattlesnake yellow background flag with the words "Don't tread on me." So they've been taken up by the Tea Party.
Which has also been taken up by the police community as a sovereign citizen. We're gonna have to be on alert because these guys think they don't have to follow the law. They can carry guns everywhere they want, which is Second Amendment. They can carry on all these rights, and so when we approach a car that has a "Don't tread on me" sign on it, it's like to an officer, it's like a terrorist. Right? They're just like, all right, calling back up. We're coming in. SWAT team out. Right? We're just gonna go make contact for a blinker. Right? How ridiculous is that?
Yeah. I did a video maybe a year or two ago. Could be a year or two. Anywhere up to 3 years ago. There's a video of a very, very corrupt city or town police system or police station, wherever. I forget the name of it. But what they would do is they would go to a mall and they would look up all the cars' license plates and look up their history and see if they have citation.
I don't mean to cut you off. That's illegal. They have the police scanning device on their freaking car that scans your information. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what they did, and they got caught finally, and they actually had changes. I don't think necessarily the changes are good, but at least the people who are running that racket got fired and stuff like that. But I've always wondered what happens to those people that get fired. I mean, do they just get hired at another precinct somewhere else? Like, you don't hear about it.
Of course, yeah, of course they do. They're unionized. The police is a union.
Mm-hmm.
You know what a union is, right? A union of carpenters or a union
truckers
of
and all that.
Truckers, workers, where they have collective voting rights about how much they get paid for a skilled service. Like, and so a lot of when we build a house, let's say, you almost sometimes have to hire a union company to bring in union workers to make sure it's done to code. If you bring in some lackey, it might be done. Some old guy, he might do it right, but it's not done to what we say, quotes, code. The police now are a union. So, and you can look it up. It's called the Brotherhood of Police. Why in the world would a service to we the people ever be unionized? And if it was, why would we ever pay for it? First of all, which we do, to only go out and ticket us, criminalize us, spy on us, just do all the things that are not what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, you know what? We should be telling them to go and arrest all the city officials that are corrupt and have them do their job.
Exactly.
Yeah, but people aren't gonna be like that. They trust their city officials. They trust their government.
They love them. They fucking love them.
Yes,
which I like. I know my small town city officials and police, and they're good people. However, in 1 minute, they would turn on me in 1 minute, and just if they knew I didn't have a license, they would just flip right and go straight to, oh boy, you're here, you got to go here. You're under arrest. You're under that,
Yeah.
and
They'll,
that's the problem.
yeah, they'll put pressure on you. They'll put pressure on the banks. They'll put pressure on your business. They'll put pressure on your taxes. They'll put pressure on just the authorities. They just put pressure on you everywhere if they have the time, and you're a thorn, But it just, I think it may just take the wrong person or a group of people where they push too hard. And now I think what we see is just, for example, that video, even though it had 1.5 million views, those reviews on Yelp, a lot of them didn't show up until 2019, within a few months. So it takes a couple of well-known people who are on YouTube, where a lot of people watch, to actually share that video and then get people a little bit, just give people a notification that that stuff is occurring. And the best thing ever is just all that stuff coming straight from the horse's mouth,
Yeah, absolutely. But the problem still exists for you and me, is what I'm getting at.
Oh yeah. I mean, best we could do is hopefully avoid those situations from happening. And a lot of people, they just say, just be courteous.
What if we, to avoid those situations from happening from you and me, like you just said, what if we read the law and we realize that the law of the state we live in,
but doesn't matter, right? They just wrote the law.
But what if the people realize, not those people that wrote it, I know what they're doing. They're making money off me and you and all day long. What if me and you realize that the law is written correctly and says we don't need a license? Right? Man, it would just kill attorneys, courts, judges, like most of the municipalities, institutions. It would just kill them. That's why they don't want us to read the law.
Well,
because the law is written. The law does say that we don't have to have that. It's not written for us. The transportation law, all that. But
the thing about that is, if you're going to play by their rules, then you're going to play by their rules. So if you're going to talk about law that's written up somewhere, then
I'm saying don't play by their rules.
Yeah, I know. But you're just saying that, what if if everyone knew the law and wrote and read their law, and fight them on that? But the thing is, then you're just fighting on their terms.
Well, if people read the law, they would realize that it's not required. The requirement here, right? The requirement. Am I required to have this? Am I required to have that? And
yeah, the law doesn't state it, but these organizations, they're all in cahoots. For example, you can't get this unless you have this. And so they go, well, if you don't have this, do you have that? They go, no. Well, I'm sorry, we can't help you. That's what they'll say. And so what it takes is our groups of people who work for themselves or have their own businesses, and just don't follow the same system. Don't, if you want to live outside the system, then set up a way where people outside the system support each other. And
so are we here to talk about that, right? About outside the system a little bit. We're not here to promote that, because we don't want to be liable for folks doing what we say. But aren't we here to promote a little bit of outside the system, just a tad?
Well, yeah, you can talk about anything here. I pretty much say, basically, look, a lot of people don't like the system, but there's no other system set up. So
what if there was a system set up, though? The Republic, right? Freedom. One man, individual. The Constitution is the system.
Yeah, but people understand that, but I'm just saying that if they're going to get support by living outside the system and not supporting the current system, they need to know how to go about that, how to meet up with individuals that are doing that.
How do we live under the system that was created for us, which is what you were talking about and I'm talking about, the constitutional system, and we want to live under that. Absolutely, right? It's got the Bill of Rights right there with us. It's got the, the directive of government. Very good. Everything's right. We want to live under that, okay? But right now, we're not living under that.
Mm-hmm.
And all these people are not living under that. You and me are not living under that system that I just, explained.
Mm-hmm.
How do we get back? How do we do it?
The only way to do it is take a firm stance and actually have a militia. It's the only choice.
Kind of, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the militia, though, would only be folks that understand the original system. Let's say there's System 1, the one I'm talking about, and you're talking about, the Constitution, Bill of Rights, just absolute freedom for people.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the system we live under, which is somehow progress, and we don't even know what it is. It's just this overarching system that finds us, kills us, taxes us, bills us for everything. When we get these people to walk back into our system or the original system, that'll be a great day.
Right? Yeah. Hold on. Here we go. And gotta change your name, Shirley. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. So crazy stuff happened here today in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
Before we get into that, what are your thoughts on the video that I shared?
I watched bits and pieces of it, but I was playing my casino game too, going back and forth.
Oh my goodness, Shirley. I shouldn't even share the videos. I should just go straight to talking about it.
I know. I didn't even watch it either. I just went straight to your title. Video title.
I know Texas is crazy, isn't it? No, what that wasn't where Sandra Bland was killed, was it?
No, but that's a good one too. Speak about it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
The cop kept following her. She was following the law, and then he wanted her to put out a cigarette. And it's like, she's like, why you wanting me to put out my cigarette? I'm entitled to smoke my cigarette. And she wound up hanging herself in jail.
That woman was blatantly beat and killed on the side of the road. I don't know, killed, but dragged to jail.
No, she wasn't beaten on the side of the road.
No, but what I'm saying is for no reason.
Oh, yeah.
I can smoke a fucking cigarette in my goddamn car if I want, Mr. Officer. And he drug her out and fucking beat her on the ground. This is outrageous. No, we cannot do this. You and me people cannot have this. It's just nuts. And she ended up dead. Oh boy. So there's no story, right? There's no more, what can we say?
And you know what else I think needs to change? Because these judges, a lot of them love cops. Because the last jury I was on, I was on a high-profile case that was in the news and the papers, and it was 2 former cops. They had a business running, and they were stealing all utilities. And the judge, the woman and the male cop, they just cocky, man, really cocky.
Mrs., can I talk to you?
Yeah.
The judge, the prosecutor, and the cop in your case in a municipal court, they all work for the same body. It's called the city. They all.
Yeah, I know, but when they run for office,
there's
these
no
judges,
There is
you
no
don't
justice.
know who they are. They come out at the last minute. They have a picture up of all these judges, and I'm like, well, who are they? And you try to go, and you got to rush and go try to find a record. But the jury I was on for 10 days, unfortunately, because this woman, she was so enthralled with the defense attorney, kept looking at him. She's like, I've never been in my basement for 30 years. I lived in my house for 30 years. Me and this other girl brought our utility bills in it because I said, today, we ended this trial today. We found them guilty. And the female officer, she just went off in court, and her lawyer couldn't calm her down, and the judge put her in contempt and sent her to jail. But then her lawyer got her a hearing, and she got out. And she lived up in the Northeast. I could run into that woman any time of the day. I don't want to be on a jury no more.
There is no justice in a system where the judge, the cop, the prosecutor, and the court all are on the same team. Right?
Yeah, because the criminals, they bring them in, and those judges believe what the cops are saying. And a lot of cops here, but yes,
yeah, absolutely, they're on the same team. And the same team is for your wallet. They just want your wallet.
And I had one lawyer I worked for. He told me, tell your kids not to become an attorney because that's a selfish profession. He said, I had my kids going to school for science. Because he says attorneys lawyers are a selfish profession. He it kind of was like true.
I have another question for Ebon.
Okay.
How did we, as a people, get to a point where the judge, the cop, the prosecutor, and the court itself are all on the same team, and we are brought in there defensively? How did we get to that point?
Well, the system was always set up for black people. Period.
Absolutely.
It was set up for black people, period. Because in the 13th Amendment, has not been amended. We are still slaves, especially if we get locked up in prison and we're treated as slaves.
What does Ebon have to say about that? What if the court, the judge, the prosecutor, the cop, they're all on the same team?
They are.
How can we win in a what we call a judicial system? How can we win?
Well, you get a jury of your peers, and I'm not talking
about. Well, that's a damn joke.
No, I'm not talking about it. You gotta let me finish. I'm not talking about a jury of your peers in their court. I'm talking about a jury of your peers that support you and you support them.
That we can pick, right? Can I pick?
Yeah. I mean, basically, look, if you were going to, aren't you ex-military, Aaron?
Me, no.
No. Okay. Well.
Father,
even if you're not, you're gonna pick who you want to go to battle with, right? So, pick the people you want to go to battle with. Fine.
But they don't allow you. The system doesn't allow you to do that. They just send you out jury summons and have you come. Because some people should not be on juries.
Don't show up. That's why people need to be good to each other and stop playing the divide and conquer game, where you're just dividing everyone you know against yourself, and you're not going to have support. So I know people aren't awakening and things like that, but that still doesn't mean you have to push them away. You can still pull people in together, neighbors, friends, family, etc.
Well, if people don't live the life that blacks live, it's hard to do. Because I was on a jury with a lawyer one time. I know the defendant, he was already in prison because he was in the court in uniform. And working in the legal field is always the opening statement is important. And the closing statement is important. And they couldn't prove that case against them.
Don't participate in their game, Shirley. I like to use the LA riots back in the 90s. So basically, Koreatown, a bunch of small businesses, as these riots protests that turn into riots somehow occurred. This is what happened. They told the Korean business owners, they told them to go home, close up the shop, or otherwise they could be endangered by the rioters. And they told the police no, because they're just gonna come in, break everything anyways if we leave. And what they had shotguns, they had handguns, they showed up outside. And let me finish, please.
So bad.
Let me finish. I know. They showed up outside. They didn't really shoot anybody, but they just presented themselves as maybe fired in the air, who knows, but they didn't kill anyone or hurt anyone. And basically the rioters stayed away, the police stayed away, the police weren't going to protect them and their businesses. So what they had to do is find a jury of their peers, not necessarily in court, but in actual life where their situations occur, and they need to defend themselves and their property and things like that. And that's what courts might have been for in a lot of people's minds, but that's not what it's for. And so that's a good example that I can provide.
Well, all other nationalities have protections besides black folks.
You have a lot of protection, Shirley. You got to find people that you know, that close to you, that will support each other through thick and thin.
Let's not make it
but every time we try to do something, someone always co-opts it.
Well, that's a tough one.
Yeah, they do.
Or any race, only because the oppression now is real against every single one of them.
I mean, good grief, they drop a bomb on the house when the movement was here in Philly back in the 80s.
Dude, I'm white. I'm getting oppressed. Fuck these fucking cops, right? I don't mean to use that word, but...
Well, you haven't been through what my people been through. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. I know white folks has gone through something, and they really don't care about them. Now they got this opioid addiction. Down in Kensington and Philadelphia, white folks been down there, and they coming from the suburbs, getting high, and all of a sudden it hit the middle class whites. They want to do something about it. It's a health crisis.
All right.
That's it. Just us folks. That's what they're attacking. It's us folks.
Surely, all I can say is don't divide. There's
I'm
been
not trying to divide anyone.
No, I know.
But
look, there's a lot of bad stuff that happens to a lot of different races, but don't say. I would recommend. I'm not saying don't. I would recommend not saying that my blank is worse than your blank. Just general statements. It's a divisive tactic that is used by the opposition.
It's not divisive. I'm from ancestors, descendants of slaves.
Like I understand that, Shirley. I know. I'm just saying that there are problems.
I mean, they fed our babies to alligators.
Man, that's
okay. Understood. Now,
at the same time, yes.
To say what you're saying.
But I don't want to even talk about that. I want to talk about what happened here last night.
Okay, go
I don't even want to talk about that.
All right, let's move on.
Well, last night, our police commissioner was forced to resign.
Why? Because
we had sexual harassment things going on in the city. Well, this city is fucking corrupt anyway. But I don't know how this bypassed them. But two Philly female officers were sexually harassed, and they had filed a federal lawsuit. And they contacted our commissioner in February to let him know what was happening and to speak up about it, because they were like whistleblowers. he never said anything because one of the women, he was mad because she broke off their 2-year affair. So that's why he didn't say anything, and they found out today. So he had to abruptly resign. But I knew they was going to find a reason to get rid of him because they was mad that they let that guy survive in their house.
Surely. Internal corruption, man, obviously, right? You know, if you live in an environment where you think you have authority to tell women, even newcomers, what to do, you know, just imagine the power that a sergeant or a captain has to say, hey, you coming into this office? Yeah. Okay. Now, that's not a problem, though. Internally, it's not a problem because it doesn't go externally. It doesn't go into my neighborhood. You know, I have a problem when it comes into my neighborhood where, let's say, the captain, you know, holds me at gunpoint for sitting in my driveway. Just random shit that should not happen. You know. But internal affairs of a police union, man, I hate to say it, but go for it.
Those unions suck because they going after they're going to have to go after our district attorney now because they don't like him. Trump was on the White House lawn talking about our DA.
How is the captain policing your community? Is he doing a good job? That's what I want to know.
Huh?
How is the captain policing your community? Is he doing a good job? You know, is he not stopping folks for, you know, walking on the street? Is he?
Oh no, he sides with the police. Period. Because the police commissioner, like last month, he had suspended officers because this group had did a survey. Was looking on social media pages in Flint, Michigan, and Philly.
But we need to
and
get
they
outside.
were, huh?
Is that police department servicing you okay?
Police departments what are okay?
Is the police department servicing you and your community okay?
Oh hell no.
Okay. Now let's talk about that. I want to go external from the internal part of them, you know, giving blowjobs and shit. Let's go outside. What are they doing outside that is
Well, honestly, they're shooting people for no reason, but it's not crazy like in other cities.
Any police department, municipality, county, state, federal, it don't matter. Which one has violated you or your rights is what I kind of want to know about because it relates to.
Well, honestly, I've never been stopped by the police or bothered, but my son has been because he's African American.
No big deal. I gotta stop them away.
He was driving, saw the cops behind him. He knew they was going to check his plate because the kind of car he drive, all he drive is a Charger, and he went and parked. A car got in front of the cop, and then my son was at the stop sign, looked and whatever, and moved on and parked outside his friend's house. He didn't even get out the car. I'll never forget that. It was rainy and cold. And they came up with their guns drawn.
Yeah, so what? Like, what was the problem?
And I'm like, what they come with their guns drawn? Then they try to lie because he was licensed to carry. And gave him a high behind bill.
What was the charge? What did they charge him with?
They tried to charge him with intent to sell, and he only had a little bit of weed in his car. Because they wanted to charge him for the gun. they really wanted to charge him for that, and they called the higher up before they took him to the station to ask, can we charge him? They said no, he's licensed to carry.
That's right. Okay, so no big deal, right? A little small drug infraction.
Oh, that's not small. $50,000 bill, that's a lot of goddamn money.
Misdemeanor. How much did he have? See, Liz, it's a misdemeanor.
No, he ain't have a lot. They were trying to say he was trying to sell a little bit because he had the gun. He's not a drug dealer.
How long ago
at all.
This
was like 2 years ago. I wish my new DA was in office when that happened, because he has no cash bail now for low offenses.
So he's still in prison right now?
For minor offenses, there's a lot of no cash bail. And Trump was on that lawn in the White House garden talking about our DA. Talking about he should not have no cash bail.
I know, but there must have been something else to do a no cash bail. There must have been something else. I mean,
No. I'm telling you, African Americans get a higher bail than whites for the same offense.
No charges: murder, attempt to murder, weapon on the subject. The subject.
My son was licensed to carry. He had his gun permit on him.
So that's not no cash bail.
So they was trying to make up at the station because my daughter went up there. She said they looked scared because they was trying to get him on the gun, but they couldn't just get him on the gun.
Let's get your call back on chat. We can go all day long. Me and you were talking about. I do believe the video. Rights people, but we can go all day long.
Did you guys see the videos that were shown by mainstream media? So basically, a lot of residents of Philadelphia were filming during the Philadelphia cop shooting, and they were laughing at the cops. They were telling them to go F off and that they should be shot, etc. Pretty much tells you the sentiments of the people who live in Philly about the police presence.
I think they knew they had the wrong. They went into the wrong house with the warrant.
Yeah.
I believe they knew. That's why they did that.
Yeah. I'm just saying that people who are filming the police in Philadelphia, they didn't like the police at all. They're telling them, I think there's one woman saying that they're cowards. There are a couple of them there saying they're just cowards. And,
yeah, because in those kind of areas right there, they always stop and harassing people.
Yeah. But
and they doing gentrification down in those areas too.
Yeah.
A lot of whites are moving back here from the suburbs, and they building a lot of condos. The way my mother-in-law lives, she lives in the Temple area, Temple University.
Mm-hmm.
Homes going on her block in North Philadelphia, the hood, for $500,000.
Yeah, I think a lot of cities around the states want to become like Silicon Valley and like San Francisco and places like that, where the living costs are through the roof. Because the city, the banks, etc., everyone gets a larger piece of the pie. And then there goes just all the people who've had their homes for, if not centuries, decades, passed on through their family. And, the housing, all the living costs in Philly probably weren't that big. But now they're just getting probably a lot higher now, aren't they, Shirley?
Yeah, that in areas in the hood now. White people used to live down there back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
It was very nice down there. But I got to fault my African-American people, too. They ain't keep up with their neighborhoods, either. Trash on the streets and stuff. I didn't grow up like that in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
We kept our fronts clean.
Ebon, remember we were talking about before the mist came on?
Can you talk closer to your mic? Because I really have a hard time hearing.
Yeah, I could barely hear him because he sound muffled.
Better?
Can
you hear me?
That's a little bit better, yeah.
Yeah, remember when we were talking about before the mist came on? That about what if we were not required to follow all these laws? You know, what if we were not? What if the law didn't apply to us, right? And so I know she came on with all these, statements, and then also mainstream shooting, all this stuff. But what if all that stuff did not apply to us? What if we're meant to be free people? We're meant to be free, but we only engage in it because we look at it, right? We follow it. We take ourselves and bring ourselves into it. What if?
The thing is, people are looking around, they see no one else not doing it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
They go, everyone's doing it. It's like, well, okay, if everyone's doing it, then it's got to be what everyone's doing. So there's not going to be any support for those who don't do it. There's got to be an example that's set. So who's going to start setting the example? That's where the unity needs to exist.
Well, I don't mean to cut you off, and I hate doing it, but I have to. Where was your example set? I'll tell you where mine was. But go ahead and tell me where yours was. Where was your example set?
My example is just set just currently how I'm living.
No, it was set by your parents.
No,
right?
We're talking about two different things.
Okay. Go ahead. My fault. Okay.
And they're gonna go after our district attorney because he's a former defense attorney.
I would love to talk to Eba right now.
Just give us a minute, Shirley. So basically, look.
Okay.
What everyone chooses to believe is to follow the laws that are written. They don't have to. That's what they're doing. Now,
where is that set?
Look, we went through this. Look, just listen to me, okay? People choose to believe what they want to believe. It's whatever it is going on. And most of the time what people choose to believe, because they don't know what's going on, they look at someone else and they're doing that. So they go, okay, that person is doing it. No, there's nothing bad happening to that person. I'm just going to do what that person's doing. Now, what they don't realize is they have another option. The option has always been there, and it was set before us for a long time. A lot of people died for it. And please don't interrupt me while I'm finishing. Now, please let me finish. I don't like to repeat myself 20 times and also to repeat that. Please let me finish.
Everybody's
I know. I just look. Don't interrupt. I don't interrupt you.
Where was your belief set?
I don't have a belief. Listen, I'm trying to finish what I'm trying to say.
Why do you follow?
Aaron, please. I told you I don't have a belief system, and I told you please don't interrupt me. All right. Let me finish. So, when someone sees everyone else doing the same thing, following the same set of rules, laws, whatever that's written, that they had no say into it, they don't see anyone else doing otherwise. The thing is, there is no one... Oh my gosh. Please, Aaron. Right now, there aren't many at all that are doing otherwise. And if they are... It's not very well known. How many people are watching me right now? 10 people? Yeah, they're not going to know who I am. They're not going to know who you are. They're not going to know who Shirley is. So there needs to be a bigger outreach of people who are actually doing and not following what's written that no one has to abide by because everyone else is doing. That's what needs to happen before anyone chooses to act differently. Okay, now go ahead. Sorry.
What forced you to believe in a belief system that you had to have certain paperwork to survive?
No one forces me to do anything. I don't have to choose a belief system. I choose not to have a belief system.
Do you have paperwork in your pocket right now?
What?
Do you have paperwork on you?
Yeah, I have paperwork. I don't have to choose to follow it.
So you do believe in a belief
I
system?
don't believe in a belief system.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Well,
You're
then
making
get rid of it.
you're telling me I have a belief system when I tell you I don't have a belief system.
Then get rid of it. That's all I'm saying. Right?
I can get rid of it.
Because you don't
There's
need
no
it.
benefit in getting rid of it right now
correct.
when there's no alternative system to go to.
Your parents brought you to this country for one reason only: the freedom, right?
No,
Freedom.
they weren't here for the freedom. They're here for the opportunities. And there's only one opportunity
freedom
here, and that's this opportunity set up by the current system that a lot of us don't really support
So
because we see the corruption in the system.
all right.
Some people love the system that we have. They just don't like the corruption. Other
I
people,
love the system we have. I'm just saying it doesn't apply to me and you. The system is awesome. We have to have the system, but it doesn't apply to me and you. Okay. When me and you go to church, when you go to your mom's house, driver's license, it doesn't apply to you. That's not what it applies to. The system is great. It's set up there for a fucking great reason.
no, we're talking about two different systems. And you got to differentiate these systems, Aaron, because people are confused. Because I'm confused about what system you're talking about.
There's a duality.
Does he know what he's talking about?
Yeah, he does. He's just not enunciating it correctly, or whatever term that is.
Yeah. Okay. There's a duality. Do you understand? You live in the same world that Walmart lives in, right? That's how the best way I can explain it. You live in a corporate world, correct?
It's called globalism.
You have to say yes because
I wouldn't call it a duality. I think that's the wrong
It's called
term.
globalism.
It's two systems. There's a system of government that is the Bill of Rights, Constitution, the United States of America that we think that our founding fathers created for us that we're living in.
And they're not following it.
Stop it. Those corporations were not created by our Constitution. Okay?
I never said they were. I'm talking about systems.
No one said that.
Well, Yvonne just kind of tried to infer that, corporations were created by the Constitution.
No, I'm talking about the Constitution of the United States. The Bill of Rights. That's not a corporation. The founding fathers that instituted didn't incorporate it.
That's it. A government was created. That's it. Just a government. That's it. Okay? Not a corporation.
I didn't say a corporation.
Not Walmart, not Boeing, not NASA, not nothing else, not Amazon. Those weren't created by our Constitution.
Okay, but look, I didn't even say it. I didn't even say corporation in my entire speech.
No, he didn't.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah. Have you been drinking?
What did Ebom say? Yes, ma'am, I have. But what did Ebom say?
Ebon didn't say what you said.
It's fine. It's just getting our points across and stuff.
Now, I've been drinking my wine, but I'm still alert and know what the hell I'm talking about.
Okay, everything's okay. It's just, we got to a point where I want Ebon to realize that the system is there, right?
Now, which system are you talking about? There's multiple systems.
Let's just say all of them. They're all.
Are you talking about the military-industrial complex?
Let's say all of them. They're all right there.
No, military-industrial complex, because Eisenhower warned about that.
I know, but my point to Ebon was, how does that affect me? How does that get back to me?
Well, look at this. Yesterday, a store that's been in business in Philly for over 100 years is shutting down now because they can't compete.
How does that affect you?
Huh?
Or Ebon? Like how does what the system does affect you directly? It really doesn't.
Oh, the system was made for just my people. The system was made to keep us down, so I already know that. And it's helping us, keeping other people down. They want to keep people divided by race,
white folks down
color,
too.
and creed.
Like systems are set up for services. Services are
How
for.
does the system affect you day to day? How does it affect you? My point is it doesn't, right? It doesn't affect you, especially if you don't engage with it, right? If you don't engage with the system, it doesn't affect you. That's my point.
Well, they're listening to our every conversation.
So,
certain systems, especially the system we have now, are a system of services. Services are for serving. People serve the system. And the system is basically set up where you are using services and you are serving the people who set it up and are the middlemen for it, or middle women, it doesn't matter. And basically you're paying them to get the system.
Reiterate, it does matter. Say what you mean to say.
Oh, God.
It's hard to say, isn't it? Hard to say.
Is Hillary going to run again?
Yes, she is.
Only.
Oh, Lord.
Only exists because you support it. That's the thing.
I'm trying to change the conversation.
Yeah, I know, Shirley.
Ebom has the floor.
Every time I have the floor, someone just talks over me. When I've asked politely plenty of times not to do that. Like, I don't want to have you just sit out, Aaron, but I might have to. Let's try to let people have their say without interrupting. Because what's the point of this if no one can even hear what we have to say? You, me, or Shirley, if we just keep interrupting each other. All right. Now what do we want to talk about? We're kind of at that time where we could talk about anything, I guess.
Well, all I know, they're going to go after my...
Hold on. All right.
Oh,
Aaron, go first, then Shirley, go ahead.
Okay. Who first?
Aaron, go ahead, and then Shirley.
Ebom opened the floor saying, okay, we just have to, take a time out. And I was like, oh, I want to know what Ebom thinks about a system that he supports.
Oh, my God.
Anyways, and go ahead, Shirley. It's all about you. We can talk about this, Ebom, later. We got time.
All right. Go ahead, Shirley, then.
Yeah, all I'm going to say is they're going to go after our DA because the FOP can't stand him. He was a defense attorney before he became DA, and he represented Black Lives Matter and Occupy Wall Street. And he sued the police 70 times for their wrongdoing. And then he has since he's been DA, he has a hit list of cops that he will not call for trial because of wrongdoing, testifying with non-truths about suspects.
Possible corrupt.
That's what happened at Meek Mill.
Ebon, tell her you can't sue the police. You can't do that. It's just they're a union,
You can sue the police. Shut the hell up.
Well, you sue the city where the police.
Sue the government. No, you can't.
And they let a lot of people out of prison because of certain cops. And the FOP put up 2 billboards on I-95 saying, we need help. Help wanted. We need a new DA. That's so disrespectful.
You want to know why you can't sue the government? You want to know why?
Go for it.
Because you are the government. I'd be suing my neighbor, right? The taxpayer. I'd be suing everybody around me. Because the government only pays out settlements, of course, or pays out to policemen taxpayers' money.
Well, we know that already, and it's a waste of money.
I'd be suing myself. Can't do that. They got it locked down. It's awesome.
Oh God, Yvonne, he's taking this conversation a whole different place right now.
It's true.
Yeah, but it's. I think it adds to the premise for it. It's a good thought. A good way of thinking. If you think about the
Yeah,
way
I
that the
know
system's set up.
I know well, I'm not paying tax dollars right now because I'm not working, but I know my tax dollars pay for wrongdoing police officers do, and it pisses me off.
Yeah.
A lot of cities do that, and they all ran by fucking Democrats.
What? Here's the thing that I always wonder, that of course I never looked into. Now, let's say someone, a police officer did someone wrong within a town or a city, and so you're basically suing the city or suing the police officer and basically the city and of course your neighbors. Now, when you get paid by the city for that, either it's a settlement or for the wrongdoing for damages, and you get a sum, say you get $200,000, say that was what you got. Now, how does that affect the actual city and the police station, whatever? Do they take away? Do they take away from the police force? Do they take it away from certain things like road repair?
They tax the people more.
Oh, they just raise the taxes on the people?
Yeah, like we got a beverage tax. We have a beverage tax that's
okay, hold on.
Hey, they do have what's called a risk management fund. They have what's called a risk management fund for risk of, citizens claiming certain damages to certain things, and suing officers and all this stuff. And their risk management fund is over $100 million.
Well, then here's the other question.
Where does that money come from? First of all.
Well, the other question to that is if say they have $100 million in risk management funding, and only 50,000 gets issued out, what happens to the 99.5 whatever million dollars?
It sits in there, and that's what their pension is based off of.
Oh, okay.
Right? That's where they get their pension. The interest for their pension, which is a fucking joke because we all pay to populate that risk management fund. That's what we do, just by taxes. General life is how that pool gets funded, and they're sitting there loving it, freaking loving it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Until they hate it when anybody claims against that, the public risk management fund. They hate it. You do not touch that fund ever.
Yeah, they be holding it because they put that beverage tax on us. Our sales tax is 8%, and then they have a sugar tax, even on almond milk. It's crazy. I'm surprised they didn't put it on alcohol.
And this is I'm just talking for counties. Imagine the state, right?
No, the counties here in Pennsylvania, they're fine. Their taxes are fine. They don't do beverage tax.
Guaranteed $3 billion risk management fund, just to avoid risk against the people that are actually living in their community, in their state, that actually might have a claim, right? And there's not much of us that do that, So they're just fucking walking away with $3 billion fucking dollars a year.
Not with this guy.
Gee whiz, you got to be kidding me! It's called the public fund, by the way, in the state sense, not the risk management fund. It's called the public fund. What the fuck is the public fund? Where does that money go? Here in the state of Texas, it's $3 billion a year. $3 billion. Where does that money go?
Well, it doesn't
Tell
go
me.
back to the people. That's for sure.
It better go back to the people is where it should go.
Well, it
Right?
should.
We are the first original investors, right? We are the first original investors of this country, county, taxing, paying, system, right? Aren't we? How come we don't get that $3 billion back?
Well, the citizens or the people never get the money back, and the reason for it is the city treasurers or whoever, the auditors, or the counties or the state, they make sure to.
$3 billion.
I'm gonna have to put you in timeout if you keep interrupting, Aaron. I'm serious. This is my last straw. Now, there's a reason why people who work for the city in the cities, either state, city, counties, whatever, they want to make sure that you use up all of the year's there's just the amount of money that you can spend. And same thing happens with businesses, but it's very much in the public sector where if you're allotted a pool of money that's say $1 million, you want to use up that $1 million as much as possible. Otherwise, the people are going to say, "Hey, you guys only used up $600,000. Well, you guys should. We could lower taxes the next year because you guys can operate efficiently at $600,000." So that's why every year, they stay within that budget to use, and if they go over, it's fine, because then you just tell the residents saying, "Hey, we went over budget this year, but it was needed, and here's why, and thus we're gonna have to raise the taxes a little bit the next year." But most of the time, a lot of them are okay with the amount of money that they have. Sometimes they might get a little bit greedy, but yeah, you want to basically stay within the budget, not go under too far and be too efficient. That's why we never see efficiency within government.
And my thing is, Comcast corporate is here in Philly. They don't have to pay any taxes.
Mm-hmm. A lot of
and they high as hell.
Donald Trump doesn't pay taxes either.
My point is, where did the state get $3 billion? Right?
And my thing is, why do we have all these city vehicles taxpayers are paying for? The insurance, the repairs, the gas.
All you.
And they using it for personal use. I have a neighbor across from me. She goes to shop right every damn other day. Going shopping for food.
Your vehicles, my vehicles, we paid for them, but they're using.
Yeah, and they're not supposed to be using them for personal use, and drive a kid in it too. It's wrong. It pisses me off.
What if there was an answer?
There is an answer. We shouldn't have to pay for it. I never saw so many people driving city vehicles from when I was a kid.
What if there was an answer? A very simple answer. I mean, would you guys want to
don't have the taxpayers pay for it?
Stop paying these people. Very simple. Right.
Then they'd be at your door with guns and stuff, wanting to take you in and pay taxes.
We have the right to bear arms, so don't worry about that, lady, because we'll come armed, right? Me and you, Ebon, we'll come armed. When they come looking for their fucking money, we'll come armed, right? But when we stop paying them, let them come to us, okay? Normally on tax day, we go to them. Oh, gee whiz, it's fucking April 15th. Oh, my gosh. Oh, gee whiz, we got to pay tax. We got to go to the office. We got to go here. We got to go there. We always go to them, right? Let them come to us and see what happens. right? Let them come to your property and see what happens. Okay? Let them come to E-Bomb's property, see what happens. Let them come to my property, see what happens. If these people are asking fucking $15,000, $1,500, fuck them. Who the fuck are you to fucking come on my property and ask me for $1,500? Are you kidding me? Jesus Christ, I'm smiling ear to ear right now. It's just laughing. Joke. What a fucking joke. Don't discount your power. That's what I'm saying. Don't discount your power. And don't submit your power either. Don't submit and every April 15th walk into one of their offices and pay your fucking tax, and bow down and do the fucking, the ritual they want you to do. Fuck that.
Evan, I'm going to have to go. I can't deal with this.
Okay. Thanks for coming on, Shirley. I don't know what the next nights are going to be, but Friday, politics night for sure. You know that. So
Yeah.
we could talk then as well.
I wish Eric had came, but he didn't show up.
Yeah, Eric's busy uploading a lot of videos. I think he's kind of slowed down a bit, though.
What's the problem with Aaron? What's the problem with me?
We normally don't do this.
Okay, all right. No worries, no worries. I'll get over it.
Good night, guys.
All right, good night, Shirley.
Good night, girl.
It's almost 2-hour mark. I think we'll give it another 6 minutes. If you wanted to ask a question or two about the system or a system or multiple systems or all systems, I think we need to differentiate. Just too many systems that are different. So I just...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Just whenever you direct a question of something that's vague, I'll usually ask questions like trying to have you define it a little bit more in just so I could understand what you mean. Even if it's just a generalization, that's fine. But like earlier, you're talking about a system that we have. Well, there's many systems that we have. Some aren't being utilized at all. Some is pretty much what everyone utilizes, and there's ones where people think that, for example, I call the government that we have set up from the founding fathers that was told to us back in the 1700s. That's also a system that where people believe that we're in, I guess, but other people say, no, we don't live in that system, because if you try to utilize your freedoms, you're going to realize that you don't really have them, or you're just met with opposing force.
Okay, yes, you're right. There was a system set up called the Republic, the independence of the United States, called the Republic. But when you look at yourself today, I mean, we can't go back into recent history to say right now, today, do we live under what we believe is a republic of independence? I'm independent of the government, an individual soul is independent of the government. I'm free to own property. I'm free to fucking live my life the way I want. As long as I don't harm anybody else, I'm okay. Can I do that in this world today?
You can try. Well, all I can say is that the system that is supposed to uphold that republic is not abiding by it.
Hold on. What system are you talking about, and where did it come from?
Came from, I don't know the origins. If I knew that, I could pinpoint it.
There is a system right now, right? Are we on the same page?
yeah, we should define the system. Whether it's the industrialized mafia, industrialized organized crime syndicate. I don't know. That's basically, or just say I don't know.
It's an overarching thing that we can't see, we can't touch, right? We don't know, but we pay. We do pay.
Yeah, I mean it's a bunch of things. Like we don't get to see the faces or who make where we get all the money printed from. Or where's that attached to? Which bank is actually printing the money that's being circulated? The United States, the government.
Regardless of money, whether it was coins and gold or paper, you would still pay under this system. So would I, right? Like they don't care what kind of currency that forces people to pay. You would pay, which I and you do, correct? So whether it was gold, silver, or paper, it doesn't matter, right? Either way, we're going to pay under a system that we're talking about, that an overarching system that has encapsulated us. And I want to know what you think about how to get out of this system.
I told you, you need people to just start using another system, but you need a lot of people doing it and having communities exist around it. It's
gold, silver doesn't matter. Gold, silver does not matter.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's just what a group agree upon. If they want to use whatever that group just needs to choose. I think what it might be time for is a bunch of people who think alike on a lot of things, coming together and living together as a community, a common unity of people who want to live the way that they want to live. The thing is, we can't really live on a different system because we're so far apart. I mean, you live in Texas, I live in Nebraska, Shirley lives in Philadelphia, you've got Mia living in Alabama, you got Tay probably also living in a different part of Texas. Hey, we could all try living on a different system, but it's not going to be near impossible because we live so far away. We can't trade with each other without using the current system that's in place that we don't want to participate in.
One of my points exactly is the system is not bad. It's not a bad system. See? Because we can still talk to each other. I can drive my car on a highway up to meet you. It's actually not a failed system where it's just simply aggression. It is progression. And at the same time, we're taxed, we're limited, we're fined for this and that and everything else. But I could go up to Nebraska, to Columbus, and meet my friend Kim. I could do that. Imagine back in the old days, you could never do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not promoting or demoting the system we live in. I'm just saying there is a system, and you agree with me that there is a system.
Yeah.
But it's not good or bad. So it's not good or bad. Let me say that.
I wouldn't really say it's good or bad. I would just say it's useful or not useful.
Yeah, good. Carry on.
I mean, what's the point of doing something that's not really useful? Takes a chunk of your time and your energy away. It's like, why would you support something like that? You probably wouldn't. So it's just kind of basically everyone has their lives, what's useful to you, what's not, what do you want to invest your time and energy in, and if you don't want to invest your time and energy in it, you got to think about why not. It's like, well, it seems like a waste. It seems like I just keep losing out on stuff. Uh, Others are benefiting from it. They're not doing anything except basically enforcing me to pay and spend my time and energy on it. And it's like, why don't they just spend their time on energy on it and just leave me alone?
That's my point, though. Exactly, is if the system is an overarching thing that does, let's say, depress on folks and send them bills and send them, just money for living in the system. And if you try to get out of it, and
You cut out.
have that luxury
Oh, there
anymore,
you go.
right? We don't have sewer. We don't have all these cool ass things that the system provides, And at the same time, 100 years ago, there was no system, so folks did do this. We actually lived like this. I'm trying it by myself, but man, it's hard. It's fucking hard as shit. The county hasn't bothered me, but just trying to set up a septic system. Are you kidding me? Gee whiz. I need all these corporate entities, Home Depot. I need all these things that without the system, I couldn't do,
Yeah.
like 100 years ago.
The tools, knowledge, and all of that stuff, they haven't really been passed along to a lot of us. So we have to use the system in order to create another one, or whatever. I mean, I think a lot of people are just they'll agree they like the system as it is. They just don't like certain parts of it or a big part of it or whatever, and they want to change that. But the thing is, I think slowly they'll wake up to the realization that they can't change the things they don't like. It just keeps on building up, and they're wondering why. Why can't they change any of it? And it's because they weren't involved with setting up the system ever. That system was set up before people were around. The players of the game got in, and they're not going to let anyone else have playing time, pretty much. It's like, hey, coach, I want to play. Well, you just got to wait your turn. That turn's never going to come up.
Are you a pro-Fed Reserve or don't care about Federal Reserve? Or
I'd say I'm opposed to it. I think it's stupid.
What, the Fed?
Yeah, the Federal Reserve.
Why do you think it's stupid or unnecessary or whatever?
Because we're going to have another entity print our money for us and then basically we pay interest rates to them for using their money when we had our own kind of monetary or currency already. And it's backed by actual resources, right? It's not backed by other people in other countries, other dictatorships, other monarchies, other governments, other banks, where they're all tied in together. It's basically, if we want services, we want trades, we want all these goods other places, they can probably control the flow in and out. Well, basically, country has to stand alone, or at this point, it's a different thing, because right now the United States government, good, bad, useful, or not useful, the military is one of the biggest, and if we really do have control of our military, as people might think, then there really isn't any other country that can.
You're going off track a little bit. I asked you about the Federal Reserve. Now we're going about the military, right?
Well, who's going to enforce a country to abide by a system of banking?
Well, I asked you if you like what I can't remember what my question was, but
The Federal Reserve.
yeah,
And I
if
said
it
I
was
oppose
a
it.
legit thing or not, right? Let's just say that's what I asked.
I probably wouldn't say
And-
good or bad. I just say not very useful, not very smart.
Okay, so what other option do we have?
We could print our own currency if we wanted to, as a people.
Who can print it?
Who?
See, I'm putting you on the spot. Who can print our money? Right?
I would.
I would say you and me. That's what I would say. But
yeah, I would say that a community, towns, whatever, should decide on what money to print. And
why would they have to print money? Why print it?
If you want to exchange goods outside that community.
Why not cast it? Why not form it? Why not do a simple form of money? Okay. When I say print, I brought that into your mind of Federal Reserve green notes, right? Green notes, fucking greenbacks. But that doesn't have to be the form of money. It just is the form of money. That's just what it is.
Yep.
But what if there's a difference? Like, what if we could make a difference? What if we could do something different?
We can. Hi, Bob. How's it going?
Hey, Bob.
Can you hear us? I can't hear you. Are you saying something? Can you say something? Can you test your mic? You can't hear. Try setting up your.
No big deal. It'd be nice to have someone else on here. By the way.
Yeah. Just let us know when you can hear us, Bob. You may have to go. Well.
Log in again. It's no big deal.
Yeah,
You'll
you just fix settings.
What if there wasn't any paper money, right?
That doesn't have to be there. I mean, just something new. You could use blockchain. You can use something that's unique. You could just use coins. I mean, basically, it's just being accountable of your own community of what goes where, and it's not abused.
Where are those coins provided from, though? Where are those
It's
coins?
just an agreement. If you're gonna have an exchange system rather than a barter system, then the community has to agree upon something.
That's what I'm saying. There's always gonna be a bank. There always has to be a bank. Whether it's 1 or 10 or 50 or 100 million, like we have now. If you have coins, like you want to, trade with me, or without sheep, you don't want to trade sheep, so we'll trade coins. We have to have a way to do that, and the bank is the fucking way. And it's so hard to realize that, yes, we need a fucking bank. All of us, we need a bank. The bank is called value. Let's call it a value store. We just store value there.
Well, the bank, if you know about like cryptocurrency, it's basically a shared banking system between people who own their own wallets within that system. So that's a way you can have a community bank in some ways. The only problem is it has no limited structure, so basically someone could just exchange on it from far away. If you limit it to your community, that's possible, but
I don't trust crypto only because I've never done it. First of all, that's why I don't. And second of all, because there is no control.
There is control. It's the developers, and it's based on how much you trust the developers.
Yeah, but those developers are not guaranteed by the force or by the faith and of the government, right?
Again, I'm talking about communities because
every time we walk into a bank and I put in money, it says right next to me, right there, enforced by the faith and the government or the U.S. government. Just thank you. I kind of like that insurance.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's true, I don't know. Nobody knows. They've stolen everybody.
You're dropping
Totally.
out, Aaron. If you disable your video, you might have better connection, so I could hear you better. Because right now your video is frozen, and I think you just don't have enough bandwidth.
Yeah.
All right, test it now. Try saying something.
How about now? Must be. It's got to be much better.
Yeah, it's a little bit better.
A little bit. Damn it.
Well, you're not cutting out. At least I don't notice you cutting out with your video.
Where's your who's joining? Yeah, focus on that.
Who?
There was a guest that was joining.
Yeah, he may join or he may not. I think I'm gonna end it because it's almost 2 hours and 15 minutes, and I was gonna say I was gonna end it 20 minutes ago. Because we are kind of straying.
I'll keep talking about it.
I know. There's other nights to talk about it.
I'll keep talking about it, meaning your condition, the situation you're in. Right?
I really don't.
I know exactly. Right.
I can't really hear you sometimes.
Oh, sorry.
All right. So I'm gonna call it a night. Thank you for joining in, Ryan. Thanks for joining in, Shirley. Thanks for joining in, Bob. Even though you couldn't get your audio to work, and everyone else who's joining and watching and chatting, thanks. And we'll see you another night. Oh wait, here we go. All right, let's test Bob's audio. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Woo!
I was on the verge of ending the show. So do you want to say anything before I end it?
I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, I always get the tail end of this shit. Fucking, I see. Oh, we got a fishing show. Oh, I see that 2 hours later. That's nice.
So
okay, it's all right.
It's all right. Do you want to say anything? I'll let you have the last word.
I don't even know I watched a little bit of it for a second, and I was just trying to join in, so I'm very limited in my knowledge of the subject. So I'm gonna say that's all crazy. Like, I can't believe the justice system can work like that. Like, can you, dude? Like, oh, just because you're in a small town means that you're gonna get fucked over. Oh, that's nice. That, like, what the fuck?
He actually.
You're lucky. I like the fact that the guy was like, "You're lucky they had cameras there." I was like, "Wow." I'm glad a small town. See, that's my problem with everybody's. Oh, the police are all great. Yeah, no, they're not. No, they're not.
Yes, they are. They are licensed badge officials. They are great people. You have to understand that, right?
Blue Lives Matter. Yeah.
Yes, they have a flag that denotes that.
You know what? My favorite thing. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm in a good place right now.
This turned into a great show. I love this show.
You should keep this going. Come on, you can handle another hour, right?
Come on.
I ate some bad food, so I really gotta go.
Well, if you gotta, I can keep it going. Me and Phase One, Will is it Eric?
Aaron.
I'll give you my
Aaron.
number. You can
Aaron?
just call me. It'll be fine.
Well, no, we should just keep it going on here. Ebon can go to the shitter. That's fine.
I may not be back.
That's all right.
It'd be a massive shit. He's massive.
See,
these are not small shits, apparently.
it's all right. It's all right. I got time.
But you love talking about government, administrative,
I think does it all? I think like I don't mean to. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I haven't been here for that long, so I'm gonna interrupt anyway. But it seems to be like, you remember Sandra Bland? Remember that? Where she supposedly hung herself?
Wait. The girl that got fucking violated on the side of the road. Basically hung down on the side of the road and then hung in her cell. Yeah, that girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shirley talked about that earlier.
Oh, good for Shirley. Good bringing that up.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, I guess I'm not needed here then.
Well, you joined 2 hours too late, Bob.
Well, it's not my fault you start 2 hours too early.
What, you want me to start at 12:45 in the morning?
Yes.
Well, too bad.
Yes.
You're not paying me enough, Bob.
Fair enough. I definitely am not. All right. Well, I guess I'll stop harassing you now. You can do whatever you like.
Well, I was going to end the show, and you had your say, so you have other nights. Maybe. And I started late today, too. I started at near 10:30.
What does Bob think about licensing, driving, transportation, all that stuff? What does Bob think?
Well, Bob's political ideology is a lot different than ours. We don't really have one, Aaron.
Okay. So, basically, you're non-political?
I don't think you can be non-political. No, I'm definitely no, it's definitely not. Well, no. Oh man, I shouldn't have done that.
Welcome to Bob coughing for 2 hours.
It's okay. People like that kind of stuff. It's entertaining. They want to see somebody losing their shit. Anyway, no. Licensing for driving. Well, driving is a commercial activity. If you're driving to transport goods,
I didn't ask about myself. I asked about you. Why are you holding a license if you believe all this stuff?
Well, because I have to, or else I'll get arrested when I get pulled over by the cops. Wait, I'm sorry. Wait. I misunderstood the question, I think.
Why are you holding a license if you believe that you're so free, right?
Because I don't want to go to jail.
Why would you go to jail if you're a free man?
Did I say I was free?
Then you live in a then let's get to the point. We live in a overarching administrative system that punishes.
Oh yeah, I'm not. Yeah. Oh yeah, our system is okay. You know how you got the the political compass thing.
Yeah, I already know. That's what I'm saying.
We're definitely living in that top right-hand corner.
We don't have to talk about why we're doing that.
We're in the authoritarian level, not the libertarian level.
Bob, we don't have to talk about why we get punished, right? We don't have to talk about why. We already know why. Me and you know why.
I don't think I've ever talked to you before, have I, Aaron?
No, you haven't.
I don't think so. All right.
Well, you should, though. But you should.
I'm
just joking. I'm getting all crazy, but
I'm a little. I'm sorry.
I'm liquored up. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Everything's okay.
You can.
Everything's fine.
No, you can. I just got yelled at by my sister because I was too loud.
Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's fine. I'm getting yelled at by my wife right now, saying I gotta go back in. So nobody can.
So what was the question?
Why do you have a license when you absolutely believe that you live in an administrative system that says you don't need a license? Why do you have one? Why do you carry one? What? Tell me right on the face. Why do you fucking have a license? And I know exactly your reason why you'll say. You'll say because they'll arrest me if I don't.
Because I'm scared of the government.
That's right.
Well,
Scared of the government. You're scared of the people that you pay to support to pay the officers to arrest you if you don't have a license, right?
Well, do you feel so? You feel good when a cop is following behind you?
I feel great. I feel awesome because they have no claim. They have no claim.
Oh, see, that's okay. I mean, I am not a big fan of authority. I know what you're saying. Man, I wish I could be as fucking flippant about it as you, though. Like, that's fuck, man. Jesus Christ!
I'm not.
I get it. You were booking on. Yeah, you are.
I don't have a license. That's it. I do have insurance. I do have registration on my truck. The wife got it for me. Thank her. Bless her heart. Because she didn't end up in jail. That's why. So, but I still run up and down.
Why do you have insurance then? So, but you're complacent to financial authorities then.
Absolutely, I'm fucking complacent to a system. To a system.
Well, so how can you complain about me being complacent? You're complacent to a financial system. I'm complacent to a governmental system. What's like? How can you? I don't understand how you can dump on me for that and not.
I'm telling you that the only reason I do that is only because my wife forced me to do that. Right?
You don't think my wife forced me not to? I was driving around without. I've been pulled over for not having a license. It's happened. Maybe, allegedly.
Yeah, I know. and do you have one now? Right?
I do. I actually have a state ID and a license.
You got one.
Both.
You got a fucking state ID and a fucking license.
Well, that's so I can give up my state ID when I get fucking arrested. I don't have to give up my license.
Nasty. That's fucking nasty. Why are you doing that? Anyway, that's fucking awesome. Dude, I don't know if I've ever talked to a guy on hey, my name's Aaron, by the way. Aaron Moorfeld. By the way.
Nice to meet you.
So you can search my name or whatever. I'm not a troll.
Warfield?
Whatever. Aaron
Moorfeld.
Morfeld is the last name, by the way.
Warfeld?
ARRAN MORFELD.
Whoa.
God damn it. You fucking, are you a cop? Are you a cop? Am I being detained? Am I being detained right now?
I'm drinking whiskey.
Why do I have to identify?
I don't know who you are. It doesn't matter. I could just I could get your information through
you to know that everything's okay on E-Bomb's show.
Oh, I know. I know. I'm good. We're all good now. Yeah. Sorry, Bob. Didn't mean to make it Bob's coughing show.
See, these guys maybe
Eba, I watched the fishing show, by the way.
Yeah.
It was excellent, dude. I liked a lot of. Oh, god damn it, my sister! I gotta quiet down. My sister's gonna come back down and yell at me again. She's here. My sister. She's actually the University of Madison. She's going to. We live near Chicago, so she came down to us. She has to go to some conference in the Netherlands or some bullshit like that. So she came down here. She's gonna fly out tomorrow from O'Hare.
Are you leaving, Aaron?
I gotta be quiet.
Yeah, I gotta run, man.
All right.
Oh, that's terrible.
Thanks for stopping in.
Aaron. You should stay longer, Aaron.
So
I'm gonna peer pressure you into not leaving. Come on.
you can peer pressure, but you have to offer some information.
Come on. What do you want to talk? I'll talk about whatever you want. What do you want to talk about now?
Information.
Let's talk about what
Information. Talk about
like general information, like
no law. General law. Information, traffic, license, title, registration, insurance.
Okay, you want to go back to that? Yeah. Okay. Do you see?
Yeah,
like originally,
right back there. Of course, we got to go right back there. Yeah.
Wasn't
don't pretend like it's far to go. You got to go right back.
Well, okay, transportation, like travel. I mean, I get, man. I worked in auto body. Like I worked in auto restoration.
So,
no,
when a cop pulls me over and says that I'm in violation of the transportation code, right? Right.
You're not transporting anything.
Says who?
What are you transporting? Yourself?
Says who?
Well, of course.
Says the cop.
Right.
Motherfuckers. Right?
What? I'm not gonna defend them. So you're
but that's who issued the fucking citation, right?
Well, yeah, of course.
Okay, so
it's
some what is transportation?
Yeah, no,
they just pulled you over and they fucking issue a ticket.
Yeah,
but it's always under the transportation code of the state that you live in. I don't know where you are. I'm in Texas. You're in what?
Illinois.
Illinois. Illinois is badass, by the way.
Thank you.
But
we're doing better now. We used to be kind of roughing it, but yeah, we're doing better now. That's for sure.
I want to go to Illinois because it's always like 75 degrees, for average.
You should wait about 5 or 6 months. That'll be much, much better.
Yeah, and I don't mind cold weather, by the way. I'll live through a snowstorm. I love that.
Oh, no, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about the fact that once January comes, weed's legal here. That's all.
Oh, legal-wise, yeah. Anyways. So...
Let's decriminalize now. So it's like they don't give a shit.
So anyways, when the cops say,
go on. Yes. Cops say
you're pulled over.
Okay.
Damn it! I ran out of beer.
That's not good.
That's good.
If I could share this with you, I would do this. This is good stuff. Wow.
So anyway, what's your point? I'll tell you my point. My point is that you don't understand what transportation is. That's my point.
Well, transportation is commercial activity.
Says who?
Says the law when it was written.
Okay, so every time I get pulled over, or
honestly, you should.
I get busted by under the transportation code. That's where interaction.
That's because the law has been misinterpreted.
How come in court I can't pull that back and say, "Hey, judge, I'm not involved. I'm not engaged in transportation." How come I can't pull it back and say that?
Because the law has been misinterpreted so many times.
Hold on, I said, "Hey, judge."
Yeah.
Judge.
Yeah, judge operates off precedent, which is.
Oh, so there is no.
No, well that's why. Yeah, law evolves, man. It's not like it doesn't matter what it was before. It's what's been decided since then.
So
it's all about precedent.
You have a license, right? You have a license, right?
I do.
Oh, geez. So you are supplying the judge with fucking precedent.
But I haven't.
Motherfucker. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
No. But
you are the one that's doing it.
But you got to realize I've been in your position also.
Sorry.
I've also not have a license for a long time. and I got really fucked over by it, and I had to pay a shitload of money.
Doesn't matter. You're the one that's actually progressing the precedent
Yes, I know
of
it
the
is.
fucking law. Yes, you are.
You're not incorrect. No, I know you're right. You're totally right.
Right.
I don't disagree with you.
I don't mean to say you, but you and your neighbor, my neighbor,
you're
my
fine.
dad, my mom, everybody that I know is doing it.
You're right, dude. If everybody refused to do it, of course we wouldn't have to. That's the power of the people, but we can't. I mean,
but
I do it, you do it, right? But
I don't do it. No, I don't.
Well, I
get busted. I get busted.
And you just, and how do you, dude, do they not, where do you live?
Texas.
And they don't, do they put you in fucking jail?
Yes. Yes, they
do.
How
long?
2 days. No license. No paperwork. That's it. It's just for no paperwork. That's the claim. No paperwork.
Well, do you have to have insurance in Texas?
It doesn't matter when you don't have a license, right? They override like all this shit.
But I know, but but do you have to have insurance in Texas?
Commercial vehicles have to have insurance, yes.
Private. Your car, Bob Schultz, owns a 1982 Volkswagen Golf GTI, do I have to have insurance on the vehicle?
What, from a commercial entity? Is that what you're talking about?
From like Geico or Progressive or State Farm Insurance? Yes.
No. Here in Texas, all you have to have is proof of financial responsibility. That's it. So if I have 10 grand in the bank, bang. There we go.
Yeah, see, in Illinois, you have to have insurance.
No, you don't have to have commercial corporate insurance.
Yep, here you do. No matter what.
In any state, actually.
You have to have at least, you don't have to have full, you don't have coverage on your, but you have to have what's called liability insurance, which covers anything that you run your car into.
Vehicle. No, you don't.
Oh, yeah, here in Illinois you do.
All you have to have is commercial or
well, that's an option here, yeah. Well, I think the threshold in Illinois is a lot higher than what it is in Texas, to be honest.
Probably. You guys are more
than we are. Right. Well, yeah, because they're trying to get everybody to buy insurance from State Farm and Progressive and Geico.
All I have to have is evidence of financial responsibility. That's it. Here in Texas.
Well, yeah. But see that's not going to cover if you fucking put somebody in the hospital for fucking
what if I don't put somebody in the hospital, though? What if I get pulled over and I don't put somebody in the hospital? Right?
Then you wouldn't have to pay. I don't know how to answer that question. Iban, how about them fishing?
That's my point, though. It's what if there is no crime? Why would you have to have a license? What if there is no crime? Why would you have to have insurance? What if there is no crime? You're just doing your daily thing up and down the road all day long.
Because you're out. Yeah, see, like I get it. I get if you're not. I get if you're not operating a horse, dude. You're not operating a buggy, like.
Of course not.
Not that could kill somebody, obviously, but
trailer. Actually,
it's so easy to kill somebody with a car. It's so easy to.
It's also so easy not to kill somebody with a car, right? So I should be criminalized because I could, or because I couldn't. Which one?
I don't. You assume that I agree with the system, and I don't. Like,
because you do.
It should just be. It should all be in my opinion, dude, all this shit should be subsidized. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, dude, if you got hit by a car, you should just go to the hospital and get the shit paid for. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, that's if we just made everything like communal anyway, it wouldn't all this shit wouldn't matter in the first place. Like, so we wouldn't need insurance just because like society is going to be responsible as a whole. Like that's not
Society's going to subsidize it? Come on. Who's going to subsidize your freedom to travel up and down the roads that you paid for? Who's going to subsidize?
You didn't pay for them. I mean, we all paid for them.
Did.
Did
you pay gas tax? Hello. Did you pay fucking tax when you bought gas?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That like the colloquial yes, of course we paid for them.
Okay, so carry on.
Well, but you still don't think you should still have fiducial duties to your actions on the road?
What about my non-actions? What about my non-actions where nothing happened, right? Should I
Well, it's aggregate.
Should I prepay for that? Right?
It'd probably be smart to, because in the law of reality,
so
like
I'll let you go ahead and
by averages,
I'll let you go ahead and prepay for all your fucking pre-actions that you've never done yet. And
well, that's the thing. Like most people in their life get into at least 1 to 3 accidents
and not paying. Yeah,
I worked in collision. I did it, dude. Like I worked in the industry.
No,
I worked in auto collision.
I know you've seen it. You've seen it. Sure. But why is that? How is that relevant to me? Me, right here, the guy you're talking to on the phone. When I have not had a collision.
I think all things should be. You know I'm a communist, right? No, you don't.
I don't know, but you're kind of sounding like an insurance communist right now.
No. No, I'm just saying that everyone, the more people, you understand that like more people in the risk pool for any kind of subsidy or program disperses the risk per person out more, right? Like, so like the more, it's just the fact that like, so if every so what they try to do with health insurance is which is why we need single payer, because then every person in this country is included in the risk pool, which makes
why in hell would that make sense?
Because it disperses, because it aggregately disperses the trauma exponent. You can't, because it disperses all the terrible things that happen to everyone as much as possible. It spreads out the cost between
name them
cancer, strokes, any kind of health malnormation.
All the people living in New York City, 23 million people, all those people, rich motherfuckers living in New York City.
Yeah, they're getting taxed like a month.
Couldn't fund one cancer research agency. Are you fucking kidding me? These motherfucking billionaires. Are you fucking kidding me? Don't talk to me about that. Okay. Hey, let's go to fucking San Francisco.
Well, that's why
Gee whiz. Oh my God. We got a fucking another 100 million fucking country there.
That's why.
How about Los Angeles? Let's go to Seattle. Let's go to Dallas. Right? Why are you talking 90%. To people that live in the country? Right? People who live in the country. I live in the country. Don't tell me I need to take care of city folks. Okay.
What? You don't think you need to take care of all folks?
I think
we need to take care of all folks.
I take care of my folks. That's what I do. Okay.
It sounds very man, that seems like, man, you know, I really, God damn it, this might be the whiskey.
That's how this country was created.
Be this nice Kentucky or Colorado whiskey talking, But man,
That's how
like you want to talk about my folks? That sounds very
That's how
like
this
right wing
country
stuff.
was created.
I don't, dude. My folks is a. I don't know what that means, man. My
folks means my
Ebon,
parents.
can you help me here, man? This my folks
folks
shit.
means my parents. I
Well,
take care of
your direct relation, obviously, you want to take care of, but like when you say my folks, it's like, what
Okay,
if
so
I said, dude,
where do you?
I don't know your racial background, any of that stuff. If
I'm
I
white,
said,
born in Nebraska, white as fuck, 5'7". Don't worry about it.
well, you're short. I'm sorry. No, I didn't mean that.
No,
Sorry.
true. Yeah, I am short. Don't worry about it.
It's okay. You say my folks, dude. Don't say my folks. That sounds racist and white supremacist and shit. Your folks. I mean, your folk. Oh, you mean your folks like your parents? That's what you mean your folks. Oh my God, your
sisters,
folks.
my parents, my family.
Well, yeah, obviously you want to take care of your family, dude. Well, duh.
First, right?
Well,
First,
yeah?
right?
Oh God,
First.
dude, you scared the shit out of me there for a second. I was woo.
No.
Almost had a heart attack right there, dude. Like my folks, like my white people. Like
I met my folks. I met my parents.
Yeah, yes.
Met.
Oh my God, dude, I was almost ready to like.
See, Riz, you are the one. See, you're the one with corrupt mind.
No, but
yes, you are.
It's connotation, dude. It's just, dude.
Hey,
it's just what
I
I've been
said
conditioned.
a word.
Yeah, well, of course. Okay, of course.
My folks.
Folks. Yes, folks. Yeah. There's. Yeah, no. Let's just forget that this conversation we're having. Ebon, delete this from the.
You need to
delete this from the feed. Thank you.
You need to calm down.
Well, no. Obviously, man. Like, no. Yeah. Like, you have to, like, dude. Even okay. Like I said, I'm not very pro-capitalist, right? But like even, dude, there's Marxist professors in the United States that invest in 401ks because they know it's the system we fucking live in. Like, you live in the society. Like, you can't operate outside of it.
How did you join that society? Tell me.
I was born. I don't know. I got thrown into it.
Okay, so you were born, and then what happened? Something happened.
You see?
Were you born?
He doesn't know me.
Were you born with a? Let's just say, hey, the birth certificate is good. I love that. But were you born with a SSN number? Were you born with that? No. No, you probably weren't. Right? You had to go to an office with your parents, to an office, a government office, and apply it. You know what apply means? Like plywood. It means glue. Just fucking glue it to you. You had to apply it to you. For some reason.
You're confusing ply with apply. That's two different words.
Apply
and apply. No. Apply like plywood and apply are two different words.
Okay, so do you have do you have an SSN?
Yeah.
Okay, well, right? There you go. You
don't.
You're connected. Correct? You're connected. You're stuck.
Dude. I mean, this is stretching. I mean, I understand what you're saying, dude. And God, dude, you want to go burn down the White House with me or what? You want to go tomorrow?
Hell no. I just walk away. I don't want to burn down
let's go to Costa. You want to move to Costa Rica with me? Let's go to Costa Rica. I'm not your enemy, man.
You have the whole country. Why would you go to Costa Rica? You
I
have
don't
this
have.
whole
I have the whole
country.
dude.
This
Me?
land is your
You
land.
think
This
I
land
do?
is
You
my
think
land. This land is
dude?
your land. Right?
Dude,
We learned that song. Okay?
dude. I fight with.
Don't fuck
Dude.
with me.
I live in Illinois, in northern Illinois, about 60
you.
miles northwest of Chicago.
Good for
In
you. You live in
a
a
very
state.
Republican
Live in a
county.
yeah.
Yes.
You live in
And
a state.
I hold views that are very, very unpopular in the area I live in.
But you live
There-
in a state, correct?
Where do you live? I'm afraid to
I
ask.
live on my land. Is where I live.
Okay. Any general
You
area?
live in a state, correct?
You don't.
Now let's just go through it. Let's go through it. Let's go through it so you can learn. It's okay. You live in a state, correct?
Yes, I
Right?
do.
Called
do.
Illinois. Right?
Yeah, Illinois. Correct.
That is a state, right? It's a state of being, right? It's a condition. It's a condition that you live under.
Yeah,
correct?
it's not a commonwealth.
Yes,
No, not like
yes.
Pennsylvania.
You
No, it's a state. Right.
every fucking of the 50, every other
Mhm.
50 are called a state. It's called a state.
You know,
of
I
being.
actually.
It's
You know
called a
what's interesting?
state of being.
I got a little
Okay.
side note. I actually have a state flag, a 49-star state flag right over there. It's pretty amazing. It's a very rare flag because it's
I'm with you. Hey, I'm with you.
Anyways, go on. Go on.
I'm all about freedom. I'm with you.
I just it's right here. I just want to show it to you. This flag right here has 49 stars from between Alaska and
Let me see.
Hawaii.
Can't see it. Hold on. Oh yeah.
Can you unfurl it?
Oh,
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will. Just I do. I want to break up the.
Oh, you have a big beard. You're awesome.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, if you look at it, like you'll notice that the star pattern is kind of messed up. Here, look at this. It's from my great. Here. Oh God, I gotta find somewhere to lay it out flat and not lay it on the ground. Should I lay it on the ground? Is that bad?
Hey, what's your name?
Flag.
What's your name again? What's my name?
Bob.
Your name's
Aaron.
Bob. What's Aaron? Okay. Bob, what if? Hold on. Can you see me? I'm gonna put the camera on.
Look at that. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird looking? Look at that shit.
Hold on. You can see me, right? Okay.
You're you're backlit. You're not backlit. Yeah, you're backlit. So
sitting next to my
I
shop.
can't see your face.
Build, and I got a fucking some shit over there.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
It's 7 times 7 is 49, right?
8 times 7.
8 times it's 8 rows of 7, right?
Hey, what if that flag didn't mean what you think?
No, it's 6, 3, 4. 6 times 8. That's 48. Where's the last one?
It's a 48 star.
What if that flag, Bob, didn't mean what you think it means?
So that one doesn't have.
Oh my God!
Hawaii
Damn it,
or Alaska.
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm just saying, what if? What if that flag did not mean what we think it means? Right?
Oh my God! You're right. It is a 48 star. God damn it, Ivan, you son of a bitch!
Good thing you unfurled it. Otherwise, you'd always thought you had a 49-star flag.
I hate you so much.
This
is like a pre. So how long were there 40? It was a long time. God damn, this thing's worthless. Fuck this flag.
Bob, what I'm saying though is, what if that flag now that we're presenting, saying, hey, we want freedom, we want this, don't tread on me, right? All these actions. What if that flag you're flying doesn't represent what we're saying? What if that flag represents oppression, taxation, government, administration, regulation, all this fucking bullshit? What if it represents that?
Mm-hmm.
What would you do? Would you still fly it?
I'm not arguing
Would you
that.
still fly that flag if it meant oppression, regulation, administration,
I
government,
don't.
overarching administration, all that shit? Would you still fly it?
I
I
don't.
wouldn't
I'm
fly it.
not.
No, I wouldn't fly it.
I'm not. I'm against. I hate the U.S. government probably more than you do. I don't understand this.
I don't hate the U.S. government. I think it's an awesome system. It's a great system.
It could be. It could. Yeah.
It is a great system.
It was intended to. It's. I don't know that it is. I think the British have and Canada have a way better system than we do. I think the government.
Why would you ever want a system? First of all, why would you ever think that a system for you as a free people would be good? Like, why would you want a system? I thought it was independent government, right?
Well,
self-governance, right?
Well,
that's why we
dude,
fucking British.
I'm like a quasi-anarchist too. So like, I don't understand why you're fighting with me.
Listen. We fought the British for independent governments. Independence, right? Independent. Self-governance, right? Self-governance. Who does that?
No, we fought the British government because there was a bunch of rich white dudes that didn't want to fucking pay more taxes. Like, it wasn't.
Well,
the creation of this country was not fucking noble, man.
How about?
Like, I don't know how you.
How about independent government? You know, self-governance. How about that?
No.
Was that not a part of the Constitution? Self-governance in the preamble. Was that not part of it? Self-governance.
Well, they acknowledge God, which I don't even fucking believe in, so I'm not even so sure about that. I don't know, man.
Don't get religious. Don't do that. Don't do that.
He's coming. He's communist.
Yeah, exactly. What do you want? Right?
I never said anything about that.
Well,
I said
it's just assume.
Right?
Well,
do you think that you are independent? Are you
of what?
Can you self-sustain yourself?
No. Probably not.
So in
the long run, like, no. In the short term, with my fishing abilities, Ebon knows, and my survival skills, yes. But that's not sustainable for a long-term.
Okay,
for my
so
long-term seed. I'm sorry.
You need a system. You know.
Yeah, we need a system. Fuck yes, we do.
Okay, well then stop complaining.
I'm not. I don't even. Am I? I haven't had that much whiskey. Like, goddamn, I don't even know what's going on anymore. What the hell just happened?
Do you or do you not believe that we need a federal government? Let's say.
Do I believe in a centralized federal government?
Federal. I didn't say central. I said federal.
You got it, dude. Do I believe in an overarching hierarchy? Is that what you're asking?
I said that we need that. We need.
No, I don't think we. No, I don't think we do need that.
So how do we get rid of that?
Like Bernie Sanders. I don't know. I don't know, dude.
Here we go.
Okay. Here, hold on. Seriously, serious answer. Okay, how do we get out of? Okay, well, if everybody just become communists, that'd be good.
Why? That's just another system.
No, well, but yes, but it's a non-high. Okay, so obviously, hold on.
Okay.
I believe there's always an overarching hierarchical system to everything, no matter what. How much we can level that is the goal of the system. So if we can make like worker co-ops where every worker gets a vote for in their in their position. So like if you work at a factory, you get a vote. So like if the factory wants to move to
Dude.
China, you can all vote not vote for China. Oh, wait. So, but in the same respect, it's just
Stop it. Just stop it. You're fucking being outrageous right now. You are being so outrageous.
You don't
Just
think?
Stop it.
Okay, it's like there.
Quit
No.
Just
There's like worker co-op. Like, dude, there's this. There's a company in Spain called.
Created on individual self-reliance. Individual.
No, you can't do that though because not everybody is.
Hello. This country was created on that. Let's just say, right?
Yeah, and look how many people have been like lost to the wayside.
All right. Now, but the documents are still written that way. Okay. So I'm not just saying this. I'm saying that there are documents that are written that way from 255,000 years ago. Thank you. Okay. 270 years.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, why are you and me talking about that we need to find certain people to occupy certain positions within the government to and you're talking like a fucking cuck. Stop it. Be a fucking man. Alright? Be a fucking man.
Dude. I've tried that.
I'm gonna turn my fucking camera back.
Dude, this is some 5'7" white dude from Nebraska telling me to be a fucking man. What the fuck? Like,
be a fucking
dude.
Man.
How old are you? Please just tell me honestly, how old are you?
Hold on, where's my pic?
What year were you born?
Hold on.
You don't. God damn it! He's trying to figure it out. Okay. Oh, there you go. Okay. Wow, you got that's a nice place there. Is that no, dude? I would kill to like. Dude, I love camping. See, that's why I don't understand why everybody's against me. Like, I'm just like everybody else.
But I'm building this shop right here.
Dude, this is awesome.
I'm trying to build.
Yeah, dude, you're a fucking. That's fucking killer, dude.
That's what.
I love you.
Do. That's what dudes do.
Yeah, dude. Not everybody can do that though, man. You have some. You gotta. Dude, you got a Chevy diesel? Dude, Dude, have you ever heard of I'm sorry to plug like
We're going in hot, right? We're going in hot to the Duramax.
Is that an LBM or what?
So you can hear
LMB?
It's LB7.
LB7? Dude.
There it is, right there. See?
Are you familiar with
LB7
calibrated power solutions?
Yeah, but I can't run it too long because the wife gets scared. She thinks I'm gonna leave.
Dude, have you heard of calibrated? Hey, Aaron.
Yeah.
Have you heard of calibrated power solutions?
For what? LB7?
They do like Duramax tuning, dude. It's DuramaxTuner.com.
Oh yeah,
dude,
definitely. I watch them.
Dude,
I do watch them.
Dude. I live like, dude. That's my friend from high school, dude. I smoked weed with that guy. Yeah, Nick Pregnance. Yeah, dude. He's my. Yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah, but LB7s are they're only.
This fucking conversation went way weird.
They're only pump pressure regulated, right?
Yeah.
But with the LBRY,
right?
Yeah, with the LBRY and the LLM, they do change it up to the the injector kind of controls.
Yeah, it's right.
And shit. So, I love the LB7, which is what it is right there.
Dude, common rail diesel I think that's the way to go, man. I'm sorry. I like
Hell
it.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways,
I
this
like how we
fucking
can
went-
talk about common
What
rail
the fuck
diesel
just happened?
and law in the same topic, and
Right.
still just poke fun at each other, going, "You're a fucking asshole. You're an asshole. No, you're an asshole.
Dude, I'm
You're
telling
an
you,
idiot."
dude.
That's funny.
Tomorrow, look up, dude. Go to Calibrated Power Solutions, dude. They got a lot of like, they got tuning boxes, dude. You tell them, dude. Just tell them you asked for Nick Pregnance. Ask for Nick Pregnance, okay? Be like, I'd like to talk to Nick Pregnance, and tell him Bob from Bob Schultz. They won't care right away, but if you keep at it,
yeah,
you might get somewhere. I'm just telling you though.
You don't even know what I've done to that
dude,
German. All right,
dude.
listen.
No, dude. He's a
You'll
good
love
dude.
You'll love
He's
this
a good
story.
dude.
You'll
Okay, go
love
on.
the story. I bought it in pieces, right? The guy was going to.
Are you fucking
the guy was
kidding
gonna
me?
do Extras on it, pulled them all out. Engine was open when I bought it.
Wow.
Yeah.
No fucking way, dude.
He covered it. It looked pretty good, so I bought it for $4,500. You know,
Dude, you fucking put it back together?
Hell yeah. But I made a
That's
mistake.
what?
I ordered 30 over nozzles for it, right?
Okay.
So I took his injectors and put 30 over nozzles on it, put them back in the engine, and it started, but it was just pinging and knocking all over the place, right?
You're in detonation? What? Really?
Yeah, it was knocking and pinging all over the place. Hey, my cord. Where's my cord?
Well, knocking, fucking, it's a diesel. Yeah, that's what it does all the time, doesn't it? Like,
Well, no. Diesels run pretty quiet, right? Normally, even high power.
I'm not convinced on that, but okay. I'll dude, I don't know. To me, like, see, I've never really been into diesels. Like, I've just been, dude, like, literally, like, Calibrated. It's like the next town over from me. Like, dude, like, literally, like, I hung out with this dude in high school, like, the guy that owns that company. Like, I made him smoke pot. Like, you know, so, like, you know, it was, it's
so I put in
surreal to me, like, honestly.
Yeah. I put in 30 over nozzles on it, and it was pinging real bad.
That means. Okay. So dude, I went to school for, like, auto restoration. Like, I know cars. So pinging means that, like, what's happening? That means it's over detonating. That means it's detonating before combustion.
Exactly.
It's before the piston is completely raised up in the cylinder. It's detonating before that piston is at the top of its stroke.
You want to know why?
Why?
On a diesel, it's because on the LB7s, the first gen,
Yeah.
LB7.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar with. Yeah, I followed all this shit. Yeah, LB7. Yeah, the first gens.
Yeah, they have two shots. You know, two piston or two throttle shots or two fuel shots.
Right.
One is pre-detonation. The second one is
right. Yeah, it's like right here, and then it shoots one in right before it compresses, and then shoots in right at compression.
Nozzles, when I put in the oversized nozzles, the pre-detonation is the computer controls idle, controls fuel, controls everything. Right?
That's what Calibrated Power Solutions does, dude. They're like total mapping.
When you add more fuel to it, the computer doesn't know what to do, right?
Right.
Manually,
you tell it what to do.
I added more fuel manually with the nozzles, and the computer didn't know what to do. So at idle, it kept me at desired idle. You know, it kept me at a desired, 675, 670 idle.
It kept the motor running. Right.
That's right. But it didn't know what to do with the pre-ignition shot. So it
Well,
kept
that's because you needed a
adding
tune too,
30%
dude.
more on that, which created a ping, which I didn't want, so I took them out.
Well,
but
that's
I
what-
had them in, and that fucking thing
dude.
moved.
I'm telling you, dude. Look up tomorrow. Calibrated Power Solutions. I swear to God, call them. Get one of their fucking tuner boxes. Your truck will run like a fucking champ, dude.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. I hate him, but he's a good dude.
Okay.
He's a total capitalist, and I'm a communist, so I fucking despise him. You know, he made it because he got lucky.
Yeah.
He
that's
took
that's a weird thing about the capitalist system, right? Is these
Right.
motherfuckers that we hate to our death are making it, right? They're fucking loving it. They're living it. On all these other fucking people, they fucking
Well, that's it.
enjoy
Yeah,
the
dude.
system, you know?
Yeah, dude, people. I'm sorry. Like I make money. I'm sure you make money. Ebon, you make money, correct?
Yeah, we all do.
Sometimes. Yeah. That's unfortunately, money is not exponential. It's finite. So every time you get money, unfortunately, it's taken away from someone else. And depending how it works, the person, like, generally, like, I usually take it away from my boss who's got a lot of money, so it's cool. But sometimes we might take it away from some people that don't. It's just the system. It's not our fault. It's the system. It's systemic. Yeah. Not our fault. Like we can't control that.
Which is why
we live in a society. You know, we live in a society. It's not.
Yeah, which is
we
why
can't control that.
If money was gold and silver, I would be a fucking.
Well, yeah. Well,
right.
Well, that's when
I
everything
would be a poor man because I couldn't go out to my neighbor.
Oh, I would go to
work for them, and they give me green.
No, fuck that. No, you don't go. You don't go to your neighbor. You go to fucking Alaska and go fucking mine that shit out of the fucking hills. You don't fucking go work for somebody else. You go fucking dig that shit out of the ground.
The immediate exchange of goods.
The goods and services. Sure, goods and services. Yeah,
absolutely. I need that green piece of paper. I need it, straight up.
Well,
so do you, and so does he.
No, you would. No, you wouldn't. No, if you were okay, if you could, but you wouldn't if you had ample food, shelter, and necessities provided to you. You wouldn't need those.
All right.
Green pieces.
It's getting late.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna end it. If you guys want to talk, you guys should exchange numbers.
No, dude, this was killer, dude. Thank you for staying, dude. It's been at least like an hour and a half, hasn't it? Since
yeah.
Hey, yeah. So
call
dude,
me, right?
You're cool, man. Oh, good.
I'm okay,
dude. Email me when you're gonna fucking go back on with the fishing shit. That pissed me off.
I'm gonna do it on Mondays. Mondays.
Mondays
Mondays is dedicated fishing.
What time?
10. I could do this. I could do it later.
Well, it does. No.
How about you have this fat face motherfucking bearded motherfucker call me? How about that?
Fat face
motherfucker. Come on, call me.
The
fucking pussy. Call me.
Just close to the camera.
Ready?
You guys can exchange.
Number. Here's
Bob.
my number.
Just email him his number. His Zoom has his Zoom name has his email address.
I don't have his fucking email. I'm just gonna tell him right now. Write it down.
Dude, we're live. Here,
okay.
I'll mute you guys. You guys exchange it now. What?
Hey,
actually,
I will.
Fat face.
I will.
Fat face.
I will.
Fat face. Here you go. Fat face.
I'll say
406.
No, don't do it. Don't do it now.
Go ahead. You guys can do it. You guys can do it. I muted it so and no one else can hear it. So go ahead if you want.
Okay.
469.
Good night, everybody. You guys can keep talking.